A break from baseball? No, that can't be. We're back for Game 5 of the season from Veterans Field. Chatham hosting Cotuit in a battle of teams looking to get the season started on the right foot. Alongside Jake Klein, I'm Hudson Ridley. Jake, yesterday the first off day of the year. Both these teams, as well as every other team in the Cape Cod Baseball League, making their way out to Fenway Park for the annual Fenway Day. I know we went as well. Interesting experience.
Chance for the players to hit BP, take infield, outfield in front of Major League scouts on a Major League diamond. But Hudson, we can't go more than a day without a Cape League game.
No, that would be unfeasible to have more than a day. So we're back today against Cotuit at home. The rest of the schedule until the next off day on the road at YD at 5. Back at home on Saturday against Bourne at 7. And then a road game at 6 against Hyannis on Sunday. But the game we're here to focus on today is Chatham and Cotuit, two teams that right now possess losing records. Chatham, though, not just a 1-2 record, a 1-2-1 record after a tie in the last time out.
2 days ago, Chatham had a 2-run lead heading to the ninth. Preston Barr blows a save for the A's. They battled back, though, after trailing by 1 in the top of the 10th and took the chance to tie it back up for the 7-7 tie.
Jake Klein, I know you talk with Dennis Cook about that on the other side, plus a little bit more off-day shenanigans. We have plenty of that and a whole lot more on the other side. You're listening to the Anglers Extra pregame show ahead of Chatham and Cotuit, Game 5 of the season from Veterans Field, coming up in less than 20 minutes, so don't go anywhere on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Sports Radio, play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on TRC.
Chatham Bars Inn is Cape Cod's premier 4-diamond oceanfront resort. With 217 luxurious rooms, guests have access to numerous amenities, including a private beach, complimentary children's programs, 4 award-winning restaurants, a new world-class spa, an outdoor pool, and tennis courts. Year after year, Chatham Bars Inn is recognized as one of the top resorts in the world. Chatham Bars Inn and Cape Cod Baseball. Summer fun for the whole family.
Welcome back on the Anglers Extra pregame show ahead of Game 5 between Chatham and Cotuit at Veterans Field. I'm Jake Klein. It's time for the Manager's Show, joined by Chatham manager Dennis Cook. Dennis, you had your first off day of 2025 after the team went to Fenway Park yesterday. How'd you spend it?
I spent it going over the roster, trying to get everything figured out for July and early August, trying to figure out who's coming in, who's going out. So basically the whole day was on the phone with people trying to get everything coordinated. We had a good steak dinner last night with the rest of the coaches.
Where'd you eat?
Chatham Cuts.
That's the place, I hear.
Yeah, we'll give them a promo. Maybe they'll give us a free steak next off day.
How much of your job in this day and age as a Cape League manager is roster management versus what you do on the field and at the field on game days?
Usually the mornings, that's what it is. You're just kind of going over, making sure everything's in line with the roster, because that's, people come, people go. Draft eligible pitchers coming in for 2 outings, coordinate it with the scouts and agents and all that stuff. But by lunchtime, I'm usually done with that, so I have a little bit of time to myself. And then, of course, we get out here, and this is where we want to be, is on the field doing baseball stuff.
You get one of those new roster additions today in Gavin Gallagher, infielder out of North Carolina, who's coming off his second straight Most Outstanding Player award at the Chapel Hill Regional. What do you like about him?
Good hitter, good fielder, great kid, has power, loves to play baseball. And that's just kind of a recurring theme with the guys that we're bringing in. They love to play, and, he put up some really good numbers, especially late in the year. He got hot, and we're excited to have him.
What do you think are the advantages of having a player who's played on Cape Cod before like he did with Yarmouth Dennis last summer?
Just kind of know what to expect, and there's not going to be any surprises, the fields, the weather. So he kind of knows what he's walking into.
Chatting with Dennis Cook on the Manager's Show before Chatham takes on Cotuit. Dennis, I want to rewind 2 nights ago. You played a 7-7 tie against Hyannis. When you think back to that one, what comes to mind?
Man, I think when I think back to that one, I think we let it slip away. We quit playing in the middle innings. they beat us in the middle innings, and just lesson learned. We play 9 innings. Don't play 3 early and then take 3 off and then try to play 3 late. So play a full 9-inning game, and I think we'll be all right.
How do you get the team to keep its focus for an entire game?
Well, it's no fun going, 1 for 4 or 1 for 5 when you could have been 3 for 5. So it kind of takes care of itself.
Dennis Cook on the Manager's Show before Chatham faces Cotuit. Dennis, thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Send it back to Hudson Ridley for the rest of the Anglers Extra Pregame Show.
Thank you very much, Jake. Some interesting stuff from Dennis Cook there. A steak on the off day, that sounds pretty good.
And
I
steak?
could use one right now.
Yeah, I
Steak?
could go for a steak.
You
Big
could
Ed-
go for a steak.
I hear Big Ed Baird, the Chatham Athletic Association treasurer and the ace of the 1967 Chatham A's, once won a free steak for a pitching performance he had here at Veterans Field.
Do you think I could win a free steak for a broadcasting performance?
We may have to ask the folks at the Chatham Cut about that one. I'm not sure.
That's likely pretty interesting. All right, on the other side, catch of the day in just a moment. You're not going to want to miss it on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Anglers Extra. Chatham on TRC. Cape Cod.
Sweet Tomatoes Pizza, located right around the corner from Veterans Field at 790 Main Street in Chatham. Pick up a pie on your way to the game or grab a calzone before first pitch. The dough for their specialty pizza is rolled right before your eyes. Eat in or take out, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and sometimes later. Call 508-348-0200. See their full menu online at sweettomatoescapecod.com. Sweet Tomatoes, a Chatham pregame tradition.
Welcome back to the Anglers Extra Pregame Show ahead of Game 5 of the season at home against Cotuit. Back after the first off day of the season, a trip where Jackson Freeman, you took the trip to Fenway Park. Jackson, what was that like?
Oh, it was an awesome experience. I mean, anytime you get the opportunity to go to a place like that, you're not going to pass it up. So it was something that, I was looking forward to, and it was really cool to do.
When you walked onto the field for the first time, what went through your head?
I feel like first thing, you're just thinking about, all the history of the place, all the people that have played there. It's a crazy long list, and, to be able to, be on that list of at least getting on the field and taking BP and doing whatnot, it was special.
Take me through the day as a whole. How did that go?
Yeah, we got there early in the morning, and were able to, stretch, do our thing, warm up, and took IO, took BP, and, just had a good time. It was a lot of fun.
Do anything else fun in the city of Boston?
I did, yeah. I went and got lunch after with my host family. We went to a good spot, so checked out I think it was North End a little bit, so it was fun. Yeah.
You have Italian food on the North End?
I did. Pizza, yeah, good spot. So I forget the name, but it was good.
How does that compare to Chicago pizza at Northwestern?
It's different. It's different. Yeah, it's just a different type, but I like them both. I don't discriminate when it comes to pizza, so yeah, it was good.
In your time at Northwestern, you've also played on another pretty famous field at Ridley. How did the two compare?
Yeah, no, I was talking about it yesterday. It's pretty neat to say I played on two of probably the most historic fields in America, Wrigley and Fenway. So it was really cool. I'd say the surfaces were about the same, and the history of them is both incredible. So they're both just really fun experiences.
Now that you've checked those two off, is there another park on your bucket list?
I gotta say San Diego Petco is an awesome park. I've been a fan, gone to a bunch of games there, so it's really cool. It'd be awesome to play there as well.
Certainly nice weather out there in San Diego as the sun beams down on us here at Veterans Field ahead of Chatham and Cotuit, the 5th game of the year. Now, Jackson, I want to take you back to the game against Hyannis. Ball hit deep to right field. You snagged it over the wall. What went through your head?
Yeah, off the bat, I thought it was way gone, honestly. And then I don't know what was going on, but it kind of stayed close to that day, and it was barely over, and was able to just kind of reach up and grab it, which was nice. So.
And a game that ended in a tie too. That was pretty monumental.
Yeah, it was. No, it became a big run. Didn't really seem like it at the time, but it ended up being one. So yeah, it was cool.
Not the first time you've had a web gem either in your time at Northwestern in right field. You've also made a play that ended up on SportsCenter. What felt better, that one or this one?
Yeah, that was probably my first true home run robbery, so I would say this one, honestly.
Saves a run for your team. Really can't ask for more than that. Well, before I let you go, I got to ask you about one more thing. you have a pretty serious fantasy football league. What's the story there?
Oh yeah, that's a lot of fun. That's my buddies from back home. They get it going every year, and our commissioner is very, very intense and really into it. So we appreciate what he does, and it's just a lot of fun to get to continue to talk to those guys from back home. So,
do you think you could ever commission a fantasy football league?
No, I'll leave that to him. I'll leave it to him. So,
is there a punishment in this league at all?
There hasn't been. Maybe we'll add that in the future, but there has not been so far. Yeah.
If you were to add a punishment, what would be the go-to here?
I like all the food ones. There's a lot of the ones with food. Whether it's eating a bunch of pancakes or doing something like that, something crazy. So maybe we'll have to try something kind of out there.
Yeah. Pretty miserable there, eating pancakes all day in a diner. Jackson Freeman, Northwestern outfielder, right fielder for the Chatham Anglers. Jackson, thank you for joining.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We'll be up with Jake Klein right now with the rest of our Anglers Extra post-game show. Jake?
Great start to the season for Jackson Freeman, Hudson. He has not only a couple of extra base hits on the ledger in the first 4 games for the A's, but also, as you discussed with him there, a sparkling defensive play in right field. A true home run robbery, as he said. Had to jump up and go over the wall to grab it.
Yeah, I mean, he's also kind of gone under the radar, really, of the big names that you talk about in this order. He is usually lower in the order today. We'll get you those lineups later, but he's hitting 8th, and he's had multiple extra base hits. So it's a guy that does fly underneath the radar, but in the appearances that he's had, in terms of starting every game this year, he's really been tremendous.
Sure has. He will bat 8th, as Hudson mentioned today, and Hudson will have the lineups. We'll have the pitching matchup, and we'll have first pitch on the other side when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Anglers Extra. Chatham on TRC. Cape Cod.
Year after year, Cape Cod League Baseball and Chatham Bars Inn have been synonymous with summer on Cape Cod. The Inn has offered clam bakes, beachside barbecues, and oceanfront dining since 1914. The new Beach House restaurant at Chatham Bars Inn is open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Visit Chatham Bars Inn at www.chathambarsin.com. Chatham Bars Inn and Cape Cod Baseball. Summer fun for the whole family.
Chatham A's baseball is on the air right now.
Swings and hits one to left center field. Back goes McFadden. He will not get there. It's a home run. A grand slam for Todd Frazier.
Chugging into second base with an RBI double is Evan Longoria. He is 4 for 4.
Hit on the ground, left side. Will it get through? Off Crawford and into center field. Federovic scores and Chatham wins it in 11. The game-winning hit from Seager. It's a 5-4 Chatham winner.
And now, with your play-by-play, Jake Klein and Hudson Ridley.
Just moments away from game number 5 of the season between Chatham and Cotuit under the lights at Veterans Field. Chatham milling about the dugout in blue jerseys with white Chatham script across the front. Blue hat with the red Angler A, fishhook apostrophe, and the red brim. White pants today. A couple players in the high blue socks. On the other side, cranberry red. Real darkish shade out of Cotuit. Black numbers on the jerseys with white outline, cranberry colored hats, and white pants for the visiting Kettleers. It's now time for our lineups presented by Chatham Clothing Bar. Jake?
Starting with the Cotuit Kettleers, managed by first-year skipper Lauren Hibbs, former Wichita State assistant coach. Sends out a lineup of Easton Winfield, center fielder from Texas. Then Camden Johnson, the Wichita State second baseman. Jack Natili, the Cincinnati catcher, hits third. And the Cape League debut of Rintaro Sasaki, the designated hitter from Stanford, in the cleanup hole. He is a big-name, high-profile prospect. Ryan Farber, the shortstop from Texas State, hits fifth. Then Nolan Stevens, the left fielder from Oklahoma. And the bottom third of Lauren Hibbs' Cotuit order. Case Sanderson, right fielder from Nebraska. Anderson French, the first baseman out of Virginia Tech. And Ryan Jaros, the third baseman from NC State. rounds out the Kettleers order. Dennis Cook is the Chatham manager. His A's are 1-2-1. Sends out a lineup of Ethan Mendoza, the second baseman from Texas, who leads it off for the 5th straight game. Then Henry Ford, center fielder from Virginia. Ace Reese in left field. He's from Mississippi State. Gavin Gallagher cleans up in his Chatham debut, third baseman from UNC. Isaiah Lane, the San Diego shortstop, 5th. Jake Hanley, the Indiana first baseman, 6th. And the bottom third of the Chatham order, Daniel Jackson, the catcher from Georgia. Jackson Freeman, right fielder from Northwestern. And Cole Johnson, the DH from Austin Peay.
Now it's time for public address announcer Peter Burns.
Please rise for tonight's national anthem. Singing our national anthem tonight is student-teacher duo Mela Meager and Miss Sarah Jane. Mela is a rising 8th grader at Monomoy Regional High School and is joining her music teacher from Monomoy Middle School. Mela is excited to do a doubleheader this week, singing tonight and again Saturday at the Cape Cod Women's Music Festival. With tonight's national anthem, Mela Meager and Miss Sarah Jane.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Make sure to come to the game and hear the national anthem, because it's a real treat. Tonight was no exception to that. Mela Meager and Miss Sarah Jane, thank you for an outstanding rendition of the national anthem.
A nearly full bowl under the setting sun at Veterans Field, standing to applaud the national anthem as both teams are ready to go. Before that, we have your pitching matchup presented by Red Nun Bar and Grill. Starting for the Anglers today, the right-hander from Texas A&M, Luke Jackson, making his first appearance for the A's. 6'2", 190 from A&M. 5.89 ERA with the Aggies. That was in 18 appearances this past year, but 0 starts. He makes his way out to the mound. On the other side, it's Cole Carlone, a starter by trade from Arizona State. 6'5", 220 pounds, a left-hander from Arizona State with a zippy 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Really travels for a left-hander. He's already pitched once this year, going 2 innings, allowing a hit, but no runs on his ledger. That's your pitching matchup presented by Red Nun Bar and Grill. For your umpires, presented by Chatham Paint and Hardware. Behind home plate, the Cape Cod baseball legend Mickey Garcia. At first base, it's Ryan Demari, and down the third base line, it is Kevin Saxton. Luke Jackson getting his warm-up pitches. Going back and forth with the starting catcher of the same last name, Daniel Jackson, the first time he's made a start. We'll get you the defensive alignment presented by Short and Sweet Ice Cream. In the outfield from left to right, it's Ace Reese, Henry Ford, and Jackson Freeman. Then around the diamond from third to first, the debut of Gavin Gallagher at third base. At shortstop, it's, as always, Isaiah Lane with his infield duo Ethan Mendoza at second. Then Jake Hanley back at first base after making a few starts in left field. And, of course, with the catching duties for the first time this year is Daniel Jackson after popping a home run his last time out Dennis Cook figured he could get a little work behind the dish. His warm-up pitches back and forth with Luke Jackson are nearly done. Mickey Garcia, the home plate umpire, flashes 2 to let him know he's got 2 more to go. Again, to lead it off for Cotuit, the center fielder Easton Winfield, followed by the second baseman Camden Johnson, and the catcher Jack Natale. Throw down to second base from Daniel Jackson signals that we're ready to go here from Veterans Field. Easton Winfield walks past the Chatham script logo and makes his way in to the left-handed batter's box. Brushes the chalk out of his way and finally stands in. Jackson crouches behind the dish. The first pitch from Luke Jackson. Swing and a grounder up the middle, right back to Jackson. Flips the comebacker to first, and it's 1 up, 1 down. A hot shot bouncer at 85. He gloves it and tosses at 7:01 p.m. 69 degrees and sunny skies. A nice day in Chatham, Massachusetts. Your time and temperature presented by the Chatham Athletic Association. So the leadoff man retired to begin the ball game. It brings up Camden Johnson from the left side. Has the handedness advantage against the righty, who kicks and deals. First pitch ball, low and away. Gallagher, who was nearly even with the bag at third, backs up. As a long look in from Jackson. The 1-0. Swing and a foul back to the screen. 1-1. 96 miles an hour from the right-hander Luke Jackson. Pitched last year for Orleans. One of just a handful of players to pitch for both Chatham and Orleans, and players in general to play for both clubs. The 1-1. Above the letters, called ball 2. Black block letters across the front of the Cotuit jerseys. Both teams keeping it simple today. The 2-1. Way above. In and out of the glove of Daniel Jackson. It had trickled to the backstop. Gathered just past the on-deck circle by Jack Natale, who waits patiently. He tosses it to Chatham's dugout. And Jackson's ready for the 3-1. Here it is. High on ball 4. Camden Johnson with a 1-out walk makes his way to first base and clears a path for Jack Natale. Natale, the first righty from the University of Cincinnati. Foot at the back of the box as he awaits. Here's the pitch. Swing and a liner to right field. It's down for a base hit. From first to third, Johnson held up as he took a long trip around the second base bag. It's a 1-out single. And it puts runners on first and second. That brings up the debut of Rintaro Sasaki. A long-awaited one at that. Arguably the biggest name in the Cape League this summer. Sasaki stands in from the left side. The designated hitter from Japan. First pitch. He takes at the eyes for ball 1.
Jackson's had the velocity working early. He's dialed a couple fastballs up to 96 miles an hour, but not a ton of strikes so far.
You can't miss against Sasaki. Set the Japanese high school home run record with 140. That beat Otani. The 1-0 swung on and missed. Fastball at 97. Just a hair above the zone. And Sasaki swung underneath it. They played at the same high school. Another famous alum, Yusei Kikuchi. The 1-1. Taken inside on a fastball. That's ball 2. Sasaki decided to make the move from Japan earlier than most Japanese players decide. A bit groundbreaking at the time. Decided to play for Stanford, where he just finished up his first season with the Cardinal. Jackson's 2-1 will have to wait. He steps off and checks the runner at second. Camden Johnson back in time. It's Johnson at second. Natali, the runner, at first. 2-1 count with one gone in the top of the first. Still a scoreless ball game from Veterans Field. 2-1. Called strike. Fastball low and in. A take all the way from Sasaki. He steps out, nods his head. Readjusts the hands on the bat. Bright batting gloves with an even brighter red bat. Offset from the Cotuit colors. And really from his own Stanford Cardinal. Pick move to second base, back in time. Johnson on a head-first slide. Two-two. Swing and a foul. Tipped it at the plate. Off the gear of Daniel Jackson into the backstop. Scooped up by the ball boy. Wind slowly breezing in, left to right across the outfield. Sizable gathering of fans just in front of Depot Road. 2-2 pitch. Low, fastball, rather slider. That loads the count full. Sasaki in the designated hitter spot. That's where you find him most of the college season. When he's in the field, he plays first. The payoff. Low and inside, ball four. Gets away from Jackson, who gets back to it. But regardless, it loads the bases. Johnson to third. Natili up to second. And Sasaki on first. So already Luke Jackson facing a jam. And Ray Powell makes his way out of the dugout, the Chatham pitching coach, to have a word with Jackson.
Only 6 of the 14 pitches from the righty so far in the strike zone. I like this mound visit early from Jay Powell. Just trying to allow Jackson to get his feet back under him in his first start of this Cape League season.
He made no starts last year with Orleans in 5 appearances. A 2.35 ERA in 7 2/3 innings. 8 strikeouts to 4 walks. He's already tossed 2 free passes to Johnson and Sasaki, who stand on third and first respectively. Powell makes his way back to the dugout, and with bases juiced, it's Ryan Farber from the left side. Johnson's first pitch. Skipped in the dirt, away from Jackson. Run comes in to score from third, and Cotuit opens up the ball game on a wild pitch. 1-0 Kettleers. Top of the first. Still only one gone. Runners move up 90 feet. Natili at third. Sasaki at second. So the middle infield eases off of double play depth. That base is open. Still Gallagher even with the bag at third. The 1-0. Cranked to the backstop. 1-1. Farber, the shortstop from Texas State. The count. He stands back in. The pitch. At the letters. Ball 2. 17 pitches from Luke Jackson so far. He's only recorded 1 out. There's a run on the board for Cotuit after a wild pitch earlier in the at-bat. 1-0 Kettleers. Still plenty of time in the top of the first. The 2-1. Called strike. Backdoor slider on the lefty Farber. fourth lefty Jackson has faced through the first 5 batters. 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Jackson did not start the at-bat the way he wanted it, but he finished with the perfect outcome. Now all he has to do is focus at Nolan Stevens, yet another lefty who digs in. The left fielder from Oklahoma stands dead center in the lefty batter's box. 2 gone, runners at second and third. The pitch, called strike at the knees. High 90s fastball for Jackson. Just finished his sophomore year at Texas A&M. 0-1. Swing and a hot shot foul. A nice crack of the bat for Nolan Stevens. Only left at 75 miles an hour. The sound was better than the velocity itself. Sometimes you can tell. That time, not so much. 0-2 with 2 gone. The pitch, popped foul. Makes its way to the rental house behind the third base dugout at Veterans Field. Has a makeshift bleacher section, almost like a rooftop Wrigley. Lady in a Cubs sweatshirt sitting up there tonight. Man a couple seats to her right, full Cardinals gear. The 0-2. Upstairs, a ball and 2 strikes.
A house divided.
I always love those signs. Found one recently for Northwestern and Alabama. Not sure how you can get that divided, but seems like an easy call to make. 1-2 with 2 gone. The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back big Ks for Luke Jackson after Cotuit opens the ball game on a big-time run, courtesy of a wild pitch. 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 runners left on base as Sasaki and Natili are stranded on second and third. First hacks for Chatham in just a moment. It's Mendoza, Ford, and Reese to lead it off. 3 of the biggest power hitters in the Chatham lineup to face an All-American in Cole Carlone. Doesn't that sound like fun? Stick around to hear it on the other side on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Sports Radio, play-by-play. Go A's, Chatham on TRC.
Bottom 1 from Veterans Field. Hudson Ridley with you alongside Jake Klein. A 1-0 ball game in favor of Cotuit after a wild pitch brought in a run in the top of the first. Ethan Mendoza digs in from the right side. They'll be followed by Ford and Ace Race to take on Cole Carlone. And the lefty shimmying, interlocking his knees before he kicks and deals. Upstairs, ball 1. Carlone, 6'5", 220 pounds from Arizona State. The left-hander with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball will open this game for Cotuit. The 1-0. Inside, 2-0. Mendoza led off last game at home at Veterans Field with a leadoff bomb. 2-0. Below the knees. They'll call that strike. 2-1. The home plate umpire today, Mickey Garcia. 2-1. Called strike. Back-to-back sliders from the lefty. Has already pitched before. Early in the season against Wareham, went 2 innings, allowing 1 hit, no runs, a walk, and a strikeout. 2-2 pitch. Way upstairs, appeal down to first, no swing, says Ryan DeMari. The hands started in for Mendoza, but his swing held the nub of the bat nearly at his chin. One he tried to hold back all the way through, and he gets the benefit of the doubt. Payoff pitch. Swing and a fly ball lofted to left field. Back on it goes Stevens, and he grabs it for out number 1. Stevens in left field with Winfield in center and Cade Sanderson in right. Around the diamond from third to first, Jaros, Farber, Johnson, and French with Jack Natili getting the start at catcher. Your defensive alignment presented by Short and Sweet Ice Cream.
You've got to get down to Short and Sweet Ice Cream.
I went last night.
Didn't get the invite.
Got the coffee Oreo. You could have come. Decided not to. First pitch to Ford. Way above his head. Ball 1. Ford put on a show yesterday for scouts at Fenway Park. 1-0. Same spot. Well above the head, and it dribbles out of the glove of Natili. The Fenway Day in the Cape Cod League yesterday. A couple guys with plenty of power. We heard of the stories, the tall tales of Rentaro Sasaki, who walked back in the top of the first yesterday. Apparently he did quite well, as now a visit out from Cotuit's coaching staff to check on Natili's catcher's gear. A look at the mask as something is pulled from inside of it.
This is the 3rd pitch comm delay in the first 5 games from a Chatham opponent.
And how many does Chatham have?
None. No pitch comm for Dennis Cook.
Classic. Some things don't need to be reinvented. The wheel, for example. The best thing I can think of there.
Or pitch calling.
Finally, time for the 2-0. Here it is. Swing and a miss from Ford. Slider low. He took a hack over the top of it. Carlone awaits patiently. The 2-1. Swing and a miss again. Another slider, this time well below, nearly at the feet of Ford. It drifted inside on the righty hitter. Quickly into the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a strikeout. The appeal down to first base. Ryan DeMari rang him up. 3 straight sliders. The spot lowered each time until it bounced off the plate, but got a swing from Ford all the same. That puts 2 down in the bottom of the first. Bases empty for the Anglers. Cotuit up 1-0. And Ace Reese to stand in from the left side, getting the start in left field today. He waves the bat. First pitch from the lefty. Comes in. It's 1-0. Natili gave the hand signal, pushing down to say, hey, settle down to Carlone. He doesn't want to, though. The 1-0. Skipped in the dirt and off the chest protector. 2 balls and no strikes. Carlone works quickly. Hasn't gotten under 10 on the pitch clock out in left center field. The big Veterans Field scoreboard. It reads 1-0 Cotuit. 2-0 pitch. Swing and a foul. Back to the screen. Fastball living in the mid to low 90s. A pretty lively arm. The Arizona State product. His 2-1. Grounded foul. Slaps off the brick backstop. Nearly collected by a Cotuit ball girl, but staved off by Mickey Garcia, who held out the hand as the ball rolled over the Chatham script, and he said, "Let me keep that." Puts it in his pocket, walks back, and now the 2-2. Inside, but called strike 3. Reese lifted up the hands as if it drifted too far inside, but instead it rings up back.
Hi, this is Luke Jackson from Texas A&M. You're listening to Chatham A's Baseball with Jake Klein and Hudson Ridley on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Thank you very much, Luke Jackson. He fires in his warm-up pitches to begin the top of the second. Allowed a run to come around in the top of the first. The only score so far, 1-0 Cotuit on top of Chatham. The bottom of the order for the Kettleers. Case Sanderson, Anderson French, and Ryan Jaros, the 3, to face Luke Jackson. Yet another lefty digs in against the righty Jackson. First pitch. Called ball inside. Jackson struck out the last 2 batters of the top of the first. Farber and Stevens both swinging. Is 1-0 to Sanderson. Low and in, strike call. One count as the sun is now dipped below the trees in left field, still illuminating a bright blue sky. Very few clouds in Chatham. 1-1. Below the knees. 2 balls and a strike. Defense playing straight up. Gavin Gallagher, the addition in the field today, his first game. In a Chatham uniform, he stands over at third. 2-1, cracked, foul. Drifts off towards the left side and saved by a tree before it made its way to the parking lot. 2-2 count to Sanderson, the leadoff man in the top of the second. Cotuit on top 1-0. The pitch. Grounded back up the middle. Mendoza from second. Fields it. Fires to first. Hanley on a stretch. Makes the play. And it's out number 1.
First baseman from Virginia Tech, number 27, Anderson French.
Hanley nominated for a college gold glove at first. Had played 2 straight games in left field before now making the move back to first base. He's already made his impact felt. Involved with 2 putouts through the first 4. In comes Anderson French. First pitch to the lefty. Skipped in the dirt and off the protector of Jackson. French at a tall 6'5". Tallest player in the lineup today for Cotuit. 1-0. Above the letters. 2 balls and no strikes. 220 pounds from Camp Hill, Pennsylvania. Waves the bat over the shoulder. The 2-0. Cut on and missed. Tipped it right back into the glove of Jackson. French with a bright orange guard on his right knee. Rather, right shin. 2-1. Tails down and in, but dips just below the bottom of the zone. 3 balls and a strike. Of course, with the Virginia Tech colors, does match the dark red from Cotuit. Fits right in. The 3-1. High and in, ball 4. The third walk issued by Luke Jackson through just 4 batters. And Dennis Cook does not like to see those walks, prefers his team to pound the zone.
Told me a couple of days ago on the manager's show he would rather the A's get their brains beaten in, I believe was his phrasing, than he would see the A's walk a bunch of hitters.
That's pleasant. I guess that's an either or. He wouldn't want to see both. The worst of both worlds. First pitch to Jaros. The righty takes strike 1 on a slider. Beautifully painted down and in. French on first after the 1-out walk. 1-0 Cotuit, top of the second from Veterans Field. Long look in from Jackson. Has 2 to fire. He does. Swing and a miss. Blew the fastball by him, and Jaros had a long stretch nearly out of his shoes. Unloaded on the baseball. Well, rather on the air around the baseball. He's behind 0-2. The pitch. Foul to the screen. Finally, the sky darkens. The lights have been on at Veterans Field since before first pitch. The latest start in the Cape League each night at 7 p.m. from Veterans Field. 0-2. Swing and a weak ground ball left side. Stays on the infield. Reese charges from third. Fires to first. In time! Gavin Gallagher. A massive off-balance throw from third as his first play as a Chatham Angler. And what a web gem it was. 2 gone. Top of the second.
And no hesitation from Gallagher, I should say. Charges aggressively. Quick transfer from glove to bare hand and makes the off-balance throw.
Moves French up 90 feet to second base and brings up the top of the order, Easton Winfield. First pitch to the lefty, skipped in the dirt, blocked by Jackson. It holds French at second base.
Pitching coach would call a big league play.
Gallagher could be well on his way to becoming a big league player. Just made his way in today from North Carolina, rocking number 42 after his second straight most outstanding player at the Chapel Hill region. It's a 1-0 count to Winfield. The pitch. Ball outside. 39 pitches thrown so far for Luke Jackson. He's retired 5 batters. The second time he's faced Winfield today after his first pitch of the ball game was grounded back to him. It's 2-0. The pitch. Called strike. It was a slider low and away from the lefty Winfield, who bent his knees and grimaced. He thought that was too low. Mickey Garcia with a different ruling. It's a 2-1 as Jackson looks over his right shoulder back at the runner. The pitch. Cut on and missed. He's worked his way back to an even count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 gone in the top of the second. Runner on second. How many more 2s can we get? 1-0 lead, Cotuit. Jackson delivers. Swing and a grounder right side, fielded by Hanley, who comes over from first. Flip on to first. Covering is Jackson, and he gets a big third out. So a runner reaching on a walk, already 3 issued by Jackson, but no harm other than that. No runs on no hits, no errors, and a runner stranded on base from Cotuit. Still a 1-0 lead from the Kettleers. The middle of the order on its way, including Gavin Gallagher, who you heard make a web gem. He bats leadoff coming up on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, the Mass State Lottery, welcome to the state of winning.
We welcome you back to Veterans Field in Chatham, Massachusetts. A 1-0 Cotuit lead in the bottom of the second. We mentioned just a minute ago Gavin Gallagher, long-awaited third baseman from UNC, to take his first hacks as an angler. He stands in with his Tar Heel blue cleats, right foot on the back of the batter's box. First pitch from Carlone, way high. Sails the glove of Natili and dribbles to the backstop. It's 1-0. Gallagher just finished his junior year at North Carolina. 17 home runs, 68 RBIs. The 1-0, fouled right side. Makes its way onto the Little League field and all the way to home plate. People surprised as it rolls through. A gaggle of kids on the stone dust infield. A field that lays well behind the first base dugout. 1-1. Sails yet again. Narrowly snagged by Natili. Carlone's control has really been all over the place. Struck out the last two hitters in Ford and Reese. 2-1. Right down the middle. You contrast that with a hefty dose of pitches that find the dirt or sail over the head of Natili. 2-2. In the dirt. The control rears its ugly head.
He's fallen behind on all four hitters he's faced so far. First three, he battled back and got him. 2 on strikeouts.
He's a strike away on a payoff from doing the same. The pitch. Inside, this time ball 4. It's a walk for Gallagher to lead off the bottom of the second. Did pretty well with that at Chapel Hill. 33 walks to just 45 strikeouts for a college player. Pretty well done. That brings up Isaiah Lane from the right side. Lane not batting in his cleanup spot that he'd become accustomed to through 4 games. Instead, finds his spot in the 5-hole today. Carlone kicks and deals. Below the legs of Natili to the backstop. It's a wild pitch, and it advances Gallagher up to second. And there's already action in the Cotuit bullpen. It's the right-hander Wyatt Halverson warming up down the first base line. With Gallagher at second, it's a 1-0 to Lane. From the stretch, the pitch. Low again. Natili has to flick the left-gloved hand out to snag it, and now calls time. Garcia grants him that time. And he jogs swiftly to the mound to meet with Carlone, who hung his head, turned around, threw the hands up. And with an almost slumping posture, having a word. He's missed Natili behind the dish quite a bit. When set up outside, he's gone inside. He's fired erratically over the head and bounced it before the plate. He's fallen behind a 5th consecutive hitter, and this time it's Isaiah Lane who awaits the 2-0. Here it is. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Fishing in the dirt on a slider clocked at 83. Gallagher takes a lead off of second. The lefty not worried, hasn't checked once. Fires the 2-1. Gallagher takes off for third. The throw a ball, it gets away. And no throw down to third base. Gallagher had taken off. Most likely to be marked as a steal, although he did skip it in the dirt. The official score decision, a steal. Three-one count with a runner at third. The pitch, cracked left side, foul. Makes its way to the Cotuit bullpen as Wyatt Halverson, the warming up righty, made his way onto the field to gather that ball. Little too early for Halverson, although one swing of the bat from Lane, and that could be all for Carlin. It's a consecutive payoff. The pitch, fouled off. That was the 28th delivered by Carlone. A full count with nobody gone. Gallagher on third base. Cotuit with a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the second. Carlone comes set. Kicks and deals. A swing and another foul ball. Clears a few trees and bounces its way to the playground. It sits well behind the stands just near down the first base line. Third payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Buried a ball in the dirt for the third strikeout Carlone has tossed, and he battles back in a big spot. It's one gone. It leaves the runner on third base.
Lane did well to fight off a couple of 3-2 pitches and stay alive, but with the runner on third and nobody out, Chatham has to have wanted a ball in play there.
Jake Hanley, the lefty. First pitch to him, inside for ball 1. Hanley has had an up and down start to the year. Batting just .125, but as a freshman in a wood bat league, you'd expect it. The 1-0, called strike on a fastball, clips the outer half. Hanley has 2 extra base hits. 1-1. At the knees, a called strike. He shakes his head and readjusts his helmet. A double and a triple so far this season for Hanley. All he needs is to put bat to ball to bring Gallagher in from third and tie the game. The 1-2. Swing and a chopper at the plate and foul. It bounces off of Hanley, and he grimaces. He's gotten a lot of off-speed in each of his plate appearances. Tough to hold back for young power hitters. And he's found that the case so far. 1-2 count, one gone, a runner on third. Cotuit up by 1. The pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back huge strikeouts for Cole Carlone, as Gallagher waits patiently on third base for somebody to drive him in. It rests on the bat of Daniel Jackson. On Tuesday night, a high pop-up from Jackson dropped in the Bermuda Triangle in center field to bring home the tying run. First pitch to the righty, cranked foul. Clears the backstop. 0-1. Hit a home run in that same ball game. A solo shot got him 2 RBIs, his only 2 on the season. 0-1, the pitch. Low and away. Jackson slides the foot, does a little jig, gives himself time to stand back in. Taps the bat on the plate, and he's ready for the 1-1. Here it is. Swing and a miss. A hefty cut on 93, up and out. He's fallen behind 1-2. Jackson likes to swing big. 14 home runs at Georgia in just 29 hits. 1-2. Swing and a liner into the outfield for a single. Gallagher scores, and the Anglers tie the game at 1. Bottom of the second, and finally Gallagher driven in after waiting oh so patiently.
Daniel Jackson does what the prior two hitters did not do in a 2-strike count. He shortens up, just focuses on putting a ball in play on the ground, and what do you know, finds a hole right up the middle.
Jackson, as mentioned, always loves to swing big. The discipline to choke up in that spot, what he's worked on. That brings up Jackson Freeman from the left side. First pitch, a called strike at the knees. 0-1 count, 2 gone. Runner on first is Daniel Jackson. 1-1 ball game in the bottom of the second after Jackson brought in the lone Chatham run. 0-1 pitch. Jackson takes off for second. Pitch is a called strike. The throw down to second, not in time. Jackson slides in and swipes a bag. The second steal of the season for the catcher. It puts a runner in scoring position, but on the take from Freeman, it's 0-2 with 2 gone. All Carlone needs is a strike. The pitch, swing and a miss. 5 strikeouts for Cole Carlone. The only bad thing on his line, a walk.
Sound of the river, you stop and you hold everything. Sound of the river, you stop and you hold everything. A band is blowing Dixie, double fall time. You feel alright when you hear the music ring. Well, now you step inside, but you don't see too many faces. Coming in out of the rain, they hear the jazz go down. Competition in other places.
Inning number 3 at Veterans Field from what is now a tie ball game. Hudson Ridley and Jake Klein with you. 1-1 after Daniel Jackson drives in the lone Chatham run. And Luke Jackson, his namesake, joins him in the battery for the top of the frame. Johnson, Natili, and Sasaki, the 3 he faces. Righty on lefty as Johnson digs in. Kicks and deals. Lays down a bunt. Jackson scoops it up, fires to first in time. A barehanded grab and a rocket throw down the first base line retires Johnson on just 1 pitch.
For a guy who hasn't played catcher since the regular season at Georgia, a very smart play by Daniel Jackson. Sprung right out of his crouch, grabbed it with the bare hand hovering right over home plate, and no hesitation on a borderline fair foul ball. He didn't wait for Mickey Garcia to make the call.
He fired down to first instead, and it knocks the leadoff man out to bring up the righty Natili. First pitch from Jackson, below the knees. Slider called for ball 1. 1 gone to begin the top of the third. 1-1 score. The same exact line scores on the scoreboard and left. Both teams 1 run, 1 hit, no errors. Pitch grounded up the middle by Natili. Fielded by Mendoza. High arcing throw hoses him at first. 3 pitches, 2 outs. And that certainly helps Jackson, whose pitch count is already at 44. Now he faces Rentaro Sasaki. The last time through this 3, Johnson, Natili, and Sasaki, it went walk, single, walk. This time, it's ground out, ground out. Righty on lefty as Sasaki waits. The first pitch. Taken, strike 1. Jackson has worked the bottom of the zone. Has not left much high. Pitching backwards to Sasaki. Starts him off with an off-speed, shakes off a few calls from Daniel Jackson, and fires with 4 on the clock. Swing and a weak grounder. Jackson called off, scooped up by Jackson. The throw down to first in time. Luke Jackson calls off Daniel Jackson. We've had plenty of Jackson so far, but not that much offense. 1-1 score after 3. 1, 2, 3 go the Kettleers. No runs on no hits, no errors, and not a single runner reaches base. Chatham to hit on the other side. Johnson, Mendoza, and Ford when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham A's on the
Back at Veterans Field, a 1-1 ball game. Hudson Ridley with you alongside Jake Klein, and a change on the mound. Wyatt Halverson, the right-hander, relieving his Arizona State teammate Cole Carlone on a Chatham call to the bullpen. First pitch swinging from Johnson, lollipop to short, and fielded by Cam Johnson for out number 1. Chatham bars in, called to the bullpen to bring in Halverson, 6'3", 225 pounds from Arizona State. Has already pitched so far this year in 3 innings, allowed just a hit, 1 run, but it was unearned. Didn't walk a batter and struck out 4. With 1 down, the lineup turns over for Ethan Mendoza. Righty on righty. The first pitch. Called strike on the outside. Jaros even with the bag at third. Middle infield of Farber and Johnson with their heels on the grass. An 0-1 to Mendoza. Swing and a foul tip. Rolls to the backstop. 0-2. As the sun gets lower, the wind gets stronger. More gusts moving from left to right as the American flag wraps around the pole in dead center field. It's 0-2. The pitch. Low and outside. Slider got Mendoza to think about it. Started the hands, but held back. Halverson wastes no time. 1-2. Upstairs at the eyes of Mendoza. Led off the bottom of the first with a fly out to left field. His last game put up 3 RBIs on a home run and a double. 2-2. Swing and a high fly ball hit out to right center field. Winfield back to the track, to the wall, and grabbed at the wall. Cade Sanderson stops a home run by a few feet. And Mendoza with a lengthy jog back to the dugout. All he can do is smile. He nearly had his second of the young season. That one almost went opposite field. That sets 2 down in front of Henry Ford, who stands in from the right side. Halverson kicks and deals. Strike called. Ford 0 for 1 after striking out to the starter Carlone. 0-1. Foul back. 0-2. The official line for Carlone: 2 innings pitched, 1 hit, a run allowed. It was earned. A walk and 5 strikeouts. Again, one of those to Ford, another one to Ace Reese, who stands on deck. 0-2 count, 2 gone. The pitch. Grounded back up the middle. Halverson flips around, barehands it, fires to first in time. A smooth play from Wyatt Halverson. 3 barehanded grabs so far, all 3 for outs combined from either side. Through 3 innings of play, 1-1 the score. After no runs, no hits, no errors, and not a runner reaching base. Jake, this game looks a lot more like the first few Chatham games we saw.
Low scoring, a classic Cape League game through the first 3, 1-1 tie.
For the next 4, it's Jake Klein on the other side in a tie ball game when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Sports Radio, play-by-play. Go A's, Chatham on GRC.
When you need to dig, lift, move, cut, or just about anything else, then dial up the Rental Source staffed with equipment and construction experts. They'll help you get the right machine for the job and make sure it's delivered when and where you need it. With locations across New England and the newest and most reliable inventory, Milton Rents is your local source.
We welcome you back to Veterans Field for the 4th inning of play. Jake Klein takes over the mic. Jake?
All right, Hudson. Ryan Farber, lefty hitting shortstop, leads off the 4th for Cotuit against Chatham's righty starter Luke Jackson in a 1-1 ball game. Right against left matchup. Jackson into the short windup. He deals. First pitch is a fastball grounded back to the mound, off Jackson's glove, scurries off the mound, picks it up and shovels to first in time for the first out. Luke Jackson has really settled in here since he allowed 3 of the first 4 hitters to reach. Did well to allow just 1 run in the first. And now has retired 6 straight Cotuit hitters. Nolan Stevens into the lefty box, outfielder from Oklahoma. First pitch, breaking ball, clips the low outside corner to the lefty, 0-1. Jackson does not have a strikeout since back-to-back Ks ended that first. 0-1, wave and a miss, 0-2. So it's been pitching to contact. That's allowed him not only to keep the pitch count down, but to increase effectiveness. Right against left. Jackson winds the 0-2. Fastball chopped to third. Gallagher plays it on 2 hops. Crow hops and guns it across the diamond in time for the 5-3 putout and the second out. Make it 7 straight Cotuit groundouts. 2 outs on 5 pitches in the 4th. That brings up the lefty hitting right fielder Case Sanderson. Grounded out to second his first time up. First pitch from Jackson. Changeup ducks just below the zone. A ball and a strike, or rather a ball, no strikes on Sanderson. Jackson ready to go. Just 5 seconds after receiving the ball. Peers over his tan glove. Now comes home 1-0. Fastball just downstairs. Those first 2 pitches to Sanderson couldn't have missed by more than a couple of inches combined. Now Jackson behind on Sanderson 2-0. Right against left. Nobody on, 2 out. The pitch. Outside. 3 balls, no strikes on Sanderson. Jackson issued 3 walks in the first 2 innings of this one, plus the lone Cotuit hit, the single by Natili in the first. 3-0. High, ball 4. 4-pitch walk for Sanderson. He is on first with 2 outs, and it brings up Anderson French, lefty hitting first baseman from Virginia Tech. A 1-1 tie in the top of the 4th at Veterans Field. Runner on first with 2 outs. Jackson into the stretch. Right on left, first pitch. Breaking ball lofted foul over the backstop and out of play. 0-1. Just 1 hit for French in his first couple of games in the Cape. Sporting a sub-100 average. 0-1. Breaking ball, check swing. He went around, says the home plate umpire, Mickey Garcia, who makes the call himself with no appeal. 0-2. No umpire on the left side with the lefty in the box and a runner on first. So not really anyone to appeal to. Here's the 0-2. Fastball just tipped foul to the backstop. On a line, it hits the screen. Stays 0-2. Chatham defense straight up as the wind picks up. American flag in dead center field now blowing toward right field. Another 0-2. Breaking ball up and away. A ball and 2 strikes on Anderson French, who walked in the second in his first trip to the plate. He was left on second when Jaros grounded out and Winfield grounded out. Sanderson takes his lead. 1-2. Breaking ball, popped in the air. Right field. Freeman settles under it in front of the warning track. He makes the catch to end the inning. So Luke Jackson works around the 2-out walk to Case Sanderson. He gets Anderson French to fly out to right, and he is through 4 innings. Still tied at 1. In the 4th, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base after the walk. We go to the bottom of the 4th at Veterans Field. And it is the Cotuit right-hander Halverson back to the mound when we return straight ahead on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
There was nothing nobody could say. Now me and
it off for Chatham. We go to the bottom of the fourth in a 1-1 tie at Veterans Field with Hudson Ridley. I'm Jake Klein. Lefty hitting Mississippi State left fielder leads it off. Then a pair of righties, Gavin Gallagher and Isaiah Lane, against the righty Halverson. First pitch, fastball called a strike on the outside corner. 0-1, 91 miles an hour on the heater from Wyatt Halverson. Right against left matchup. He deals 0-1. Breaking ball, knocked in the air, shallow left center. It dunks in front of Nolan Stevens. And Ace Reese is on with a leadoff single in the bottom of the fourth. Inside out swing on a breaking ball, and he just punched it over the shortstop. Ace Reese has a hit in all 3 Cape League games he's played. And there's a runner on first with nobody out for Gallagher. In his first Cape League, or I should say his first Chatham game out of the University of North Carolina, because he played for the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox last summer. Picked to first, Reese back standing. Right on right. Halverson sets. First pitch, high and tight. A ball and no strikes. 28 games last summer for Scott Pickler's crew. 202 average, did homer twice. Drove in 15 for YD. Righty takes a deep breath on the mound. Here's the 1-0. Fastball in the dirt. 2 balls, no strikes. Gallagher walked his first time up, moved to second on a wild pitch, then stole third and scored on the 2-out RBI single by Jackson, which tied this game at 1. That's where we stand now, bottom 4. Here's the 2-0. Swing and a pop fly foul toward the light tower behind Cotuit's first base dugout and out of play. Halverson gets a new ball directly from Mickey Garcia, who, as always, opts to make the throws back to the mound himself. Pick to first, Reese back standing again.
Interesting move to throw back to the mound himself.
That's Mickey Garcia for you. I've already seen him call off the ball boys to retrieve a foul ball himself. 2-1. Breaking ball punched foul. Similar spot in the air down the first base side and out of play. Count even 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Some umpires just do it for the exercise.
Reese takes his lead off of first with nobody out. 2-2 to Gallagher. Fastball called, strike 3 on the outside corner. He shakes his head as he walks out of the righty box toward the Chatham dugout, but has nothing to say to Mickey Garcia. He's a strikeout victim for the first time in the 2025 Cape League season. And now Isaiah Lane strides into the righty box. First pitch to him. Swing and a miss. Cuts through a high fastball. It's 0-1. Lane struck out swinging in the second against the Cotuit starter Cole Carlone. 0-1. Swing and a nubber on the ground to the right side. Second baseman Johnson over. He shovels to first in time to retire Lane. Reese moves up to second. He's in scoring position after the fielder's choice. 2 outs for the lefty hitting Jake Hanley. Cotuit 1, Chatham 1, bottom of the fourth. A's at the plate. Runner on second, 2 out. Right on left matchup.
Halverson to Hanley, first pitch. Breaking ball misses up and away, 1-0. One-0 pitch, swing and a miss. 91 and Hanley was behind it. Still feels like he's trying to get that timing down with the wood bat in hand against Cape League pitching. Righty Halverson set from the stretch. 1-1. Breaking ball hit sharply on the ground to short, collected by Farber. He throws to first in time to end the inning. Jake Hanley got good wood on it, but hits it right to Ryan Farber, who puts him out to end the inning. And so the Ace Reese leadoff single wasted by the A's. They do not score. One hit, no errors, and one man stranded in scoring position. After 4 innings of play at Veterans Field, it's Cotuit 1, Chatham 1. Kettleers coming back to the plate, and the A's send a new pitcher to the mound when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod.
Dream it. If you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group. Protecting the possible.
I'm from my head to the ground. You know, it comes around here. Until about midnight. She make me feel so good, Lord. She make me feel all right. And her name is G. L. Whoa.
So Chatham bars in, called to the bullpen for Chatham. And the A's send Dane Burns to the mound. Left-hander from Mississippi State, ready for his Cape League debut. Burns, a 6'5", 220-pound sophomore to be. Just finished his freshman year with the Bulldogs, where he pitched to a 4.02 ERA in just under 16 innings. He's another one of those Dennis Cook unproven youngsters who has not logged a ton of college innings. But when we've talked to Dennis, he's expressed that he likes these younger players who are more inclined to stick around for more or all of the summer season. Burns certainly fits into that category. Final line on Luke Jackson, the Chatham starter. He goes 4 innings, allows 1 hit, 1 run. It was earned. Walked 4 and struck out 2. All things considered, pretty solid first start for Luke Jackson. I think if you ask him, he'd probably like to bring that walk total down a little bit. But has Chatham right in this game, tied 1-1. As we start the top of the 5th. Lefty Burns against the righty hitting Ryan Jaros. Cotuit 9-hitter. First pitch is a changeup that misses outside. 1-0. Jaros 0 for 1, grounded weakly to third his first time up against the starter Jackson. Left against right, Burns in the stretch. 1-0. Fastball called a strike inside corner. 1-1. 89 on the heater from the lefty. Again, Dennis Cook follows a hard-throwing righty starter with a softer tossing lefty reliever. 1-1. Fastball waved at and missed. Tips off Jackson's glove and rolls to the backstop. 1-2. That's been the recipe in 4 of the first 5 Chatham games, with the exception being last game on Tuesday against Hyannis. They started the lefty,
Mason Peters then went to the righties out of the bullpen. Left on right, the 1-2. Breaking ball chopped off the glove of the pitcher. Lane fields at short, off balance throw to first. By a hair. It's a 1-6-3 put out on the deflection. And that's the first out. So the Cotuit order flips for the lefty hitting Texas center fielder Easton Winfield. 0 for 2. Burns ready, first pitch. Fastball called a strike. Upper outside corner at 90 miles per hour, 0-1. 19 strikeouts to 12 walks for Burns as a freshman at Mississippi State. Only surrendered 1 homer. 0-1, breaking ball bounces in front of home plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fastball back to the mound. 83 on the Veterans Field scoreboard from Mickey Garcia. Left on left, 1-1. Fastball outside. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Do you think he does it because he knows he can throw 83?
Maybe he just wants to see. He knows Veterans Field has the velocities displayed, and it picks it up on the way back to the pitcher, too. 2-1. Fastball cracked on the ground right side. Mendoza in shallow right, boots it. And his Texas teammate Winfield reaches on a single.
It's a fairly elevated lip going from the infield dirt to the outfield. It slammed into that and skipped up at Mendoza, but it's not the first time he's had trouble with that lip on the young season.
Brings up the lefty hitting Camden Johnson. First pitch from Burns. Fastball down and away, 1-0. Mendoza and Winfield spent last year together at Texas. Got to feel like Mendoza was positioned in a place where he knew Winfield was likely to hit it. Found himself on the shallow outfield grass with the ground ball coming in. 1-0. Fastball just off the outside corner at 88. 2 balls, no strikes. Chatham middle infielders pinched toward the bag at second with a runner on first and 1 out. Gallagher just a step behind the infield grass at third. 2-0. Breaking ball caught on and missed. It was in the dirt, bounced in front of the righty batter's box, and the lefty Johnson took a hack anyway. Burns ready. Set on the third base side of the mound, he deals. Fastball called a strike, dropped by the catcher Jackson. Rolls out of his glove, but Winfield stays put at first. Count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Johnson walked and scored the lone Cotuit run in the first. Came home on a wild pitch from Luke Jackson. Burns deals. Breaking ball popped up. Foul territory, third base side. Gallagher races over in foul ground. He settles under it and makes the catch, leaning backwards for the second out. Winfield remains at first with 2 outs for Jack Natili, righty hitting catcher from Cincinnati. Tied at 1 in the top of the 5th. Cotuit has a runner on first with 2 out. Left against right matchup. Burns against Natili. First pitch. Fastball just inside. 1-0. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. It gets through Jackson's legs but doesn't go far. He picks it up, and again Winfield stays at first. Mendoza shaded toward the bag at second. Rest of the Chatham defense straight up. Natili ready for the 1-1. Outside. 2 balls and a strike. Dane Burns has retired 2 of the first 3 he's faced in the Cape Cod Baseball League. Former Kansas City Royal draft pick out of high school. 2-1 home, up and away. Jackson had to sprawl out of the crouch to grab it. 3 balls and a strike with the dangerous Rintaro Sasaki waiting on deck. Left against right. Burns comes set, looks at first, and deals 3-1. Fastball in the dirt, ball 4. Winfield moves into scoring position at second. Natili goes to first after the 5-pitch walk, and here comes Sasaki.
Now batting for Cotuit, the designated hitter, number 52, Rintaro Sasaki.
First a trip to the mound from Daniel Jackson, the Chatham catcher. Ready to face Dane Burns. Rintaro Sasaki strides to the plate. Takes a big practice swing outside of the lefty box. And nods with a smile toward home plate umpire Mickey Garcia. Runners take their leads off first and second with 2 outs. As Jackson returns behind home plate. And now another trip to the mound. Jackson has to go back out there to get the sign straightened out. With the pitcher Burns. Sasaki, a .269 hitter at Stanford this spring. Went yards 7 times, drove in 41. Left on left matchup. First pitch from Burns. Breaking ball in the dirt. Jackson blocks it behind the righty box and keeps the runners at first and second. Sasaki split time ahead of his freshman year. 26 games in the MLB Draft League with the Trenton Thunder and 9 with the Greenville Flyboys of the Appalachian League. 1-0 is high. 2 balls, no strikes. First and second, 2 outs. 2-0 the count on Rintaro Sasaki. The pitch. Fastball, big swing and a fly ball foul behind home plate. 2-1, he wanted it all there.
That's the first time in this game Sasaki has really tried to power anything that he's seen. And it's clear it's a long swing from Sasaki.
There's a lot behind it. 6 foot, 275 pounds in the lefty box. The 2-1. Fastball called a strike. Low outside corner at 90 miles per hour. And Chatham a strike away from escaping a jam in the top of the 5th. 1-1 tie. Runners are on first and second with 2 outs. Burns ready for a 2-2 pitch to Sasaki. In a stretch, he comes set. Looks at second and deals. Fastball, lined foul just over the backstop behind home plate. Stays 2 balls, 2 strikes. The preseason ACC Freshman of the Year. And the #1 freshman in the country, according to Baseball America, before the season was Sasaki. Ready for another 2-2. Breaking ball popped straight up, shallow center field. Shortstop Lane goes out, gets under it, and makes the catch by his right ear to end the inning. So Dane Burns works into and then out of trouble. A 1-out single and a 2-out walk put Winfield and Natili on base, but Sasaki pops out to short, and Cotuit gets no runs on a hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base in the top of the 5th. We go to the bottom of the 5th at Veterans Field. It's the bottom of the Chatham order when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
The Cape's leader, sports radio, play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod.
You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
Halfway there on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Chatham and Cotuit tied at 1 as we go to the bottom of the 5th at Veterans Field. And the Cotuit right-hander Wyatt Halverson back out for his 3rd inning of relief. He'll face righty, lefty, righty at the bottom of the Chatham order, starting with the Georgia catcher, Daniel Jackson. First pitch. Fastball high and tight. Jackson just starts his hands around, then bails out of the righty box. 1-0. Jackson, Freeman, and Cole Johnson to follow. 1-0. Fastball called a strike outside corner at 90 miles an hour from Halverson. It's 1-1. Jackson set. Halverson set. Here's the 1-1 in the dirt. Backhanded by Natili, the Cotuit catcher. It rolls out in front of the plate. And now Halverson walks off the mound, readjusts his maroon Old English C cap, climbs up the back of the hill, gets ready for the 2-1. The pitch. Breaking ball misses above the letters. 3 balls and a strike on Jackson. He singled home Chatham's only run, scored Gavin Gallagher in the 2nd. A 2-strike grounder up the middle. Right on right. 3-1. Big swing and a line drive foul to the backstop. Count goes full on Daniel Jackson, who walks 360 degrees around the catcher and umpire. Back into the righty box ahead of a payoff pitch. Nobody on, nobody out. 1-1 in the bottom of the 5th. Halverson ready. 3-2. Breaking ball spoiled, foul on a line, and that hit a Cotuit coach. Sitting in a chair just outside the Kettleer dugout. Seems to be all right. He actually caught the ball in addition to wearing it off the right side of his chest. There is a screen over there, but it's angled so that there's a little gap. And that ball found that gap.
I think that's an out in Savannah Banana Baseball.
Here's another 3-2. Fastball punched in the air, shallow right field. Sanderson runs in, it drops in front of him, a base hit. Daniel Jackson has hits in 3 consecutive at-bats for Chatham. 2 for 2 today, and for the second straight inning, the A's have a leadoff single. This time, Jackson Freeman comes up with a man on first and nobody out. Jackson looks toward Brett Doe. Chatham's third base coach drops down the signs. Takes his lead off first as Freeman readies in the lefty box. First pitch from the righty. Here it comes. Fastball way upstairs. Natili leaps in the air to grab it and windmills his left arm around. It's 1-0. Daniel Jackson already has a stolen base in this game. 2 of 2 swiping bags on the Young Cape League season. Pick to first, safe. Jackson back with a head-first dive. Right against left. 1-0. Upstairs. 2 balls, no strikes. On the lefty hitting Freeman. Jackson, a sneaky base stealer at first. 12 of 12 this season at Georgia. A catcher who runs well. Pick to first, safe again. This time a closer play. Jackson pops up and shakes the dirt out of his belt. Halverson ready, 2-0 to Freeman. High, 3-0. Feels like Halverson's paying more attention to Freeman at first than he is the hitter, and he's missed on the first 3 pitches to Freeman. Struck out swinging in his first trip to the plate against the starter Carlone. 3-0. Called a strike, outer third, 3-1. A run on 2 hits, no errors for Cotuit. A run on 3 hits, no errors for Chatham. Tied in the bottom of the 5th at Veterans Field. Sky a deep shade of blue, lights are on. The 3-1, runner goes, pitches a fastball, high, ball 4. Jackson had second stolen. Was just a few steps away from the base when the catcher Natili popped up to throw, but it doesn't matter. He moves to second automatically on the walk. Chatham has 2 on with nobody out, and the 9-hole hitter Cole Johnson comes to the plate first. It's a mound visit from Cotuit's pitching coach, Tim O'Connor. He gathers the entire Cotuit infield around the pitcher, Halverson, and the catcher, Natili. And O'Connor's the one leading this meeting in the middle of the mound. There is a pitcher up in the Kettleer bullpen. It's the righty Charlie Walker, a senior to be from Northeastern. He's tossing down the right field line, and things appear to be developing quickly in the Cotuit bullpen. A lot of heads bobbing around down the right field line. Chatham has runners on first and second with nobody out. 9-hole hitter Cole Johnson lined out to second his first time up. Right on right, Halverson deals. Swing and a miss. Third baseman Jaros had drawn in, expecting a possible bunt. Now he backs up even with the bag after the big first pitch swing. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a foul tip. This time he goes after a low breaking ball and just nicks it into the catcher's mitt. Jackson and Freeman take their leads. Off first and second with no outs, the 0-2. Fastball. Skied to straightaway center field. Couple of steps right for Easton Winfield. Now he sprints back left and makes the catch on the run. Boy, the wind is not blowing too hard. Winfield just overran that to his right and nearly paid for it.
And when you say not blowing hard, you really mean not blowing at all. He must have lost it in the lights and regained it. Because if he didn't go full speed back the other way, and then full extension to stick the glove out, that ball would have gotten down.
It's the first out of the bottom of the 5th, and it flips the Chatham order for Ethan Mendoza. First pitch, upstairs, 1-0. Mendoza has hit 2 balls hard tonight. Stung a line drive to left, caught by Stevens in the first, and then blasted a fly ball to deep right center. It was caught just shy of the 357 sign on the outfield fence. 1-0. High, 2-0. And now Mendoza in a hitter's count with a couple of runners on and 1 out. Chatham hunting for the lead in the bottom of the 5th. Righty Halverson comes set. Looks back at second. Now deals. Check swing. Mendoza holds off a high fastball. 3-0. Jackson takes a 4-step lead off second. Freeman off first. 3-0 pitch. Called a strike, top of the zone. Mendoza was taking all the way. Dropped the bat off his shoulder as the pitch came in. It's 3-1. 2 hits, 3 RBIs in Chatham's last game Tuesday. Chance for more. 3-1. Fastball called a strike. Right at the top of the zone. Even in a hitter's count, Mendoza didn't like it. And the count goes full. Righty set. Halverson deals. Runner goes from third. Pitches a fastball, popped up. Shallow right field. Johnson, the second baseman, goes out. He makes the backpedaling catch in shallow right. As Jackson, off on the pitch, scurries back to second after the second out. So now it's up to Henry Ford. He comes to the plate with 2 on and 2 out in a 1-1 tie bottom 5. 0 for 2 today. A strikeout in the first and a ground out to the pitcher in the third. Right on right. Halverson ready, comes home. First pitch is high, 1-0. Impressive wherewithal from Halverson in a tricky spot behind 3-0 to Mendoza. Trusts that low 90s fastball for 2 called strikes and gets him to pop out. Now behind 1-0 on Ford, he deals. Fastball lined foul straight back. Ford timed it up, but just missed it. Right against right. Halverson deals. Breaking ball in the dirt. Jackson goes from second. He is safe with a slide as Freeman retreats to first. Moves up on the wild pitch. Now they're on the corners with 2 out. And Ford in a 2-1 count at the plate. Righty Halverson ready. The 2-1 pitch. Swing and a foul tip. Ford behind it. Fastball at 91. It's 2-2. Four of 18 start to the season for Ford, hitting .222. He's ready for a 2-2. Breaking ball left, down and away. Count goes full on the righty hitter. And with 2 outs, the runner Freeman, forced from first, will be off on the payoff pitch. Runners take their leads off first and third, 2 gone. Halverson ready. Here comes the 3-2. Fastball downstairs. Ford lays off a borderline pitch that dunks below the knees
And they are loaded with 2 outs for Ace Reese. And that's going to be all for Halverson. Tim O'Connor, the pitching coach, comes out to make another visit. This time a Chatham Barzin call to the bullpen comes with it. Chatham has the bases loaded, 2 outs, and it's 3-hole hitter Ace Reese at the plate when we come back. Precarious position for the new Cotuit pitcher. We'll tell you all about him on the other side. Don't go anywhere.
Chatham on TRZ, Cape Cod.
I guess if you say so, I'll have to pack my things and go.
That's right, hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
What you say?
Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
Now, baby, listen, baby, don't you treat me this away, 'cause I'll be back on my feet someday.
Don't care if you do, 'cause it's understood. You ain't got no money, you just ain't no good.
Well, I guess if you say so.
Back at Veterans Field, bases are loaded with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th of a 1-1 tied game. And Cotuit makes a Chatham Barzin call to the bullpen. The new pitcher is right-hander Charlie Walker, a 6'2", 210-pound senior to be from Milton, Massachusetts, out of Northeastern. He's already pitched once this summer and allowed a run in 3 innings, so a 3.00 ERA through 1 appearance. For Walker, who takes over with Daniel Jackson on third, Jackson Freeman on second, and Henry Ford on first. All 3 are the responsibility of the Cotuit reliever, Wyatt Halverson. And it'll be Ace Reese, lefty hitter out of Mississippi State, who comes to the plate with the bases full of A's. Gets a warm reception from the Veterans Field crowd. He's already 1 of 2 tonight with a single. Righty Walker comes set from the stretch, nods at the sign, and deals. Breaking ball outside, 1-0. Right against left, Walker set. Here's his 1-0. Fastball drilled. Right center field and deep. Winfield on the run, and the gap reaches up. It's the right fielder, Sanderson, who calls him off and makes the catch on the track. Second time Chatham has put one out to the deepest part of right center field, and the second time Cotuit has come down with it. This time Reese flies out, and the A's strand the bases loaded in the 5th. No runs for Chatham on 1 hit, no errors, and 3 men left on base after 5 innings at Veterans Field. It's Cotuit 1, Chatham 1. The Kettleers send Ryan Farber, Nolan Stevens, and Case Sanderson to the plate on the other side of the break. Don't go anywhere.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts, Milton Rents, your local source.
on to the 6th at Veterans Field. Chatham and Cotuit tied at 1 as the Kettleers send Ryan Farber, the shortstop from Texas State, to the plate to lead off against the lefty Dane Burns, who stranded runners on first and second for a scoreless 5th in his first inning of Cape League work. Short righty in the back of the box. First pitch from Burns. Breaking ball misses outside, 1-0. Hudson Ridley has a check of MLB scores presented by Mahi Gold.
Couple games in action right now. Mets and Braves tied at 1 apiece in the bottom of the 5th. Rays and Orioles also knotted at 1 apiece. That is after 4.
Left on right, Burns 1-0. Fastball called a strike, top of the zone, 1-1.
Close game in Miami. Phillies on top of the Marlins, 2-1 in the top of the 9th. Those are the games in play right now. The Cardinals beat the White Sox earlier today, 8-6. Pirates and Tigers still going, tied at 4 in the top of the 9th.
Here's the 1-1. It's low. Looks like Chatham battery was crossed up there. Jackson set up high, Burns threw a fastball low, squirted under his glove and rolled to the backstop, and then Jackson tapped his chest as if to indicate my bad. Payoff. Fastball lined on one hop, fair inside first. Hanley gloves it behind the bag, flips to the pitcher, not in time. Ball skipped right over the bag at first. Right side umpire Ryan Damari had a perfect look at it. Jake Hanley gloved it, but caught 10 feet or so behind the base in foul territory. He had no choice but to flip to Dane Burns covering, and Farber won the foot race for a leadoff infield single in the 6th. Brings up Nolan Stevens, lefty hitting left fielder from Oklahoma. First pitch from Burns, fastball high. 1-0. Stevens is 0 for 2. He struck out and grounded out. 2. He struck out and grounded out. 1-0. Fastball inside. 2 balls, no strikes on the lefty hitting Stevens. In the driver's seat as he drags his natural grain bat over home plate. And readies for the 2-0. Burns comes home. Fastball high, 3-0. Struggling to find the zone here in this 6th inning. Burns has worked a second straight 2-ball count. Lefty ready, he comes home. Fastball right down the middle, called a strike, it's 3-1. Case Sanderson is on deck. Lefty hitting right fielder from Nebraska. Then another lefty after that. So this bottom of the order sets up favorably for the lefty Burns. In a 3-1 count, he deals. Fastball smoked on a line to right. It drops for a hit. Freeman over to cut it off. Farber around second and goes to third. Stevens stops at first. He's got a single, and Cotuit has runners on the corners with nobody out in the top of the 6th. That brings up Case Sanderson. Lefty hitter out of Nebraska, who's 0 for 1. Grounded out to second and walked. Gavin Gallagher in on the infield grass at third. First pitch. Fastball called a strike. 91 on the outer third. It's 0-1. Mason Bixby, right-hander from TCU, is up in the Chatham bullpen down the left field line. Burns in trouble in the top of the 6th of a 1-1 game. Is 0-1. Breaking ball waved at and missed. 0-2 on Sanderson. Middle infielders pinch toward the bag at second. Chatham, it appears, willing to surrender the run in exchange for the double. 0-2. Fastball up and in.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Sanderson has driven in 3 in his first 4 Cape League games. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball lined on 1 hop to second. Mendoza fields, flips to second for 1, relay to first in time. A double play, but the run comes home to score, and Cotuit takes a 2-1 lead in the top of the 6th. No RBI for Case Sanderson after the 4-6-3 double play. And considering the traffic on the base paths, I think the A's will take it. They are empty now for the lefty hitting Anderson French. Burns ready, first pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt. Bounces off the ground, then tips off Jackson's glove and rolls to the backstop. It's 1-0. Had Chatham drawn its infield all the way in with runners on the corners, that ball probably gets through to past Mendoza. 1-0. Wave and a miss. 1-1. Hit sharply, but because he was back and pinched towards second, he had enough time to grab it on 1 hop. One. Fastball outside to the lefty. 2 balls and a strike. Feels like just about every Cape League game is a bullpen day for both teams. Already 5 combined pitchers in this one. 2-1, cut on and missed. Slider way down and away, and French just cuts over it. So the count even 2-2. With nobody on base and 2 out, Cotuit having just taken a 2-1 lead in this top of the 6th. Lefty Burns set, third base side of the mound, deals. Breaking ball low, 3-2. On deck hitter Jaros is a righty. There is a righty in the bullpen with the lefty on the mound at the moment. And Jay Powell, the Chatham pitching coach, just gestured down towards the pen. 3-2. Breaking ball downstairs, ball 4. So after Burns gets the double play, he has a chance to get out of the inning. Instead issues a walk, his 2nd of the day and the 7th by Chatham pitching. And Jay Powell now has his hat in the air, waving down toward the left field bullpen. Chatham coaching staff trying to figure out if Mason Bixby is ready. Meanwhile, on the mound, Dane Burns pitches. It's a first pitch fastball, popped foul down the right field line and out of play, 0-1. So it seems like Chatham's coaching staff wanted Bixby in that scenario. But the communication down to the left field bullpen didn't come together in time, and now Burns gets the batter.
Now with 44 pitches, too, he loses the handedness advantage where Bixby would have it righty-righty.
0-1. Breaking ball tapped foul at home plate. Off the batter in the righty's box, and now it's 0-2. Of course, Dennis Cook's preference would be to get Bixby in a clean inning rather than entering mid-inning with a runner on first. Oh and 2 on the righty Jaros. Runner on first with 2 out. Burns set, looks at first, comes set and deals. Fastball inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Light fog blowing over Veterans Field. Gusting across the diamond from left field across to right. Here's the 1-2. Fastball cranked right center field and deep. Ford on the run at the track, reaches up, makes the catch and leans up against the wall to end the inning. So Dane Burns gets the last batter on a hard hit line drive to dead center. Jaros retired, but Cotuit gets a run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. The Kettleers have a 2-1 lead after 5.5 at Veterans Field. The A's will have a chance to tie it back up, maybe even take the lead when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham A's on the air.
You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
Hi, this is Daniel Jackson from the University of Georgia. You're listening to Chatham A's Baseball with Jake Klein and Hudson Ridley on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
To the bottom of the 6th, A's behind the Cotuit Kettleers, 2-1 at Veterans Field. With Hudson Ridley, I'm Jake Klein. Cotuit jumped in front on a run-scoring double play ball off the bat of Case Sanderson in the 6th. And now in the home half of the inning, Gavin Gallagher, Isaiah Lane, and Jake Hanley, 2 righties and a lefty. The 4, 5, and 6 hitters in the Chatham order are due up against the righty Charlie Walker, who came in to get the A's, or rather the Kettleers, out of a bases-loaded 2-out jam last inning. First pitch to Gallagher, fastball called a strike, outside corner. It's 0-1. Gallagher is 0 for 1, struck out looking last time up after he walked and came around to score in the 2nd. 0-1. Breaking ball popped foul, out of play over Cotuit's dugout on the first base side and down toward the playground. And foul ground beyond the bleachers that line the right side fencing at Veterans Field. Gallagher steps out, regains his thoughts ahead of an 0-2. Walker ready. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball fisted on the ground. 1 hop towards first. Off the glove of French. He regains it and throws to the pitcher, covering in time for the 3-1 putout.
The shortstop from the University of San Diego, number 1, Isaiah Lane.
That brings up Isaiah Lane, righty hitting shortstop from USD. 0 of 2 today. Just 3 hits for the A's through the first 5 innings. First pitch is a fastball high, 1-0. Right against right. Walker ready, shakes off, now nods. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball in the dirt, down and away to the righty. 2 balls, no strikes. Hudson, you've got a check of the Cape League scoreboard presented by our good friend Merrill Sweet and Sweet Tomatoes Pizza.
Best thing about being the last game of the day, you get to know where everybody is. YD on top of Orleans, 4-2, top 9.
2-0. Fastball called a strike, outside corner, 2-1.
2 more games in action. Hyannis on top of Bourne, 8-5. That one is after 8. After 8 in Harwich, Wareham up 5-2, searching for its first win of the young season. Brewster took down Falmouth 6-4 at home earlier today, 5-0.
2-1. Fastball chopped on the ground up the middle. It gets through into center field, a base hit. Isaiah Lane reaches on a single, and Chatham has a 1-out base runner in the bottom of the 6th. Jake Hanley comes to the plate as the go-ahead run.
Now batting for Chatham, the first baseman. From Indiana, number 34, Jake Hanley.
How about Brewster? 4-0, or now 5-0. Only perfect team remaining in the Cape League. They are a sixth of the way to the perfect, no, an eighth of the way to the perfect season.
Good math.
Thank you. First pitch, fastball clobbered, center field. Winfield backs up just in front of the track. He runs back in and makes the catch. So that's the second out, and it brings up Daniel Jackson with a runner on first.
Number 2, Daniel Jackson.
Whitecaps at 5-0 already have 10 points. Hyannis on the verge of getting to 7 is the next closest team. Pick to first, Lane dives back safely. Of course, Brewster in the east, Hyannis in the west. So not going directly head-to-head for playoff positioning. Right on right. Walker against Jackson. First pitch, runner goes from first. It's a breaking ball low. Throw down to second is in time. They got him. Isaiah Lane caught stealing for the second time on the Cape League season. That ends the sixth. Charlie Walker faces the minimum in the sixth. No runs, no hits, and no errors. Nobody left on base after the caught stealing. After 6 innings of play at Veterans Field, Kettleers in front, 2-1 over the A's. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Sun coming up over New York City. School bus driver in a traffic jam, staring at the faces in a rearview mirror, looking at the promise of the promised land. One kid dreams of fame and fortune. One kid helps pay the rent. One could end up going to prison. One just might be president. Only in America, dreaming in red, white, and blue. Only in America, where we dream as big as we want to. We all get a chance. Everybody gets to dance. Only in America. Sun going down on LA freeway.
Back at Veterans Field, Jake Klein with you alongside Hudson Ridley. It's a Chatham Bars In call to the bullpen for A's manager Dennis Cook, with Chatham trailing Cotuit 2-1, and the new A's pitcher is TCU right-hander Mason Bixby for his Cape League debut. 6'7", 240-pound righty from San Antonio, Texas, who will transfer away from the Horned Frogs for his junior year. Greeted by the lefty leadoff man Easton Winfield. First pitch is a 95-mile-per-hour fastball down the middle for strike one. Right on left matchup against Winfield, who is 1 of 3. The pitch, fastball high. 1-1, just barely above the letters on the dark red Cotuit jersey. Wind has started to whip out toward right. 1-1. Fastball upstairs. Jackson drops it. 2-1.
Bixby looks in for the sign. Comes set, glove at the belt. Here's the 2-1. Fastball cut on and missed. 95, 4 straight heaters. To start it off, it's 2-2. Righty Bixby set. His 2-2. Fastball grounded sharply back up the middle and into center field. A single for Easton Winfield, his second hit in 3 innings. And Cotuit has the leadoff man on in the top of the 7th. Brings up the lefty hitting center fielder Camden Johnson. And before he comes to the plate, another Chatham mound visit. Daniel Jackson, in his first appearance behind the plate, has struggled to get on the same page as Angler pitchers tonight. Line is final on Dane Burns, the Chatham lefty reliever who preceded Bixby. 2 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, it was earned. 2 walks and no Ks for Burns. Currently on the hook for the loss. Right on left, first pitch. Fastball called a strike right down the chute at 95, 0-1. Bixby's been pretty consistent with that velocity. Just about every pitch has been 95 so far. 1 at 94, all fastballs so far. Runner on first with nobody out. The 0-1. Runner goes, pitches a fastball, bunted to third. Gallagher catches it in the air. All he has to do is lollipop it to first for the double play. Cotuit tries a bunt as Winfield breaks from first. Double play goes 5-3. And just like that, the leadoff single erased. Righty hitting Jack Natili comes in. Nobody on and 2 outs. Bixby deals. Breaking ball down and away. Breaking ball at 90 miles an hour. Almost 12.5 inches of horizontal break. 1-0. Wave and a miss. That time the heater, 94, it's 1-1. .589 ERA and 13 outings for Bixby at TCU as a sophomore. He deals 1-1. Swing and a miss. Another fastball, that one 95 at the letters, and it's 1-2.
Jake, any thoughts what he could be going to here? If I had
My
to
money's
guess, I
on
would say
fastball.
Yeah.
We'll see. Here's the 1-2. It is a fastball, and it just misses inside at 97 on the gun. Artist pitch of the year for Chatham staff, tying JT Quinn on opening night. 2-2. Breaking ball, cut on and missed. Nice inning for Mason Bixby, who works around the leadoff single. We'll send it down to Peter Burns for the 7th inning stretch at Veterans Field.
You're going to run into here at Veterans Field. You've got dogs, you've got all kinds of. Oh, hi. Here we go. Here we go, here we go. Oh, we've got a big, big group tonight. Big group. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, come on up. All right, we got a big piece of paper here. Here, I'll hang on to these 2 pieces of paper. Thank you. Okay. We've got Blaine, Sophia, Alex, Annabelle. Annabella. Brooks, Georgia, Vera, Brooke, Emma, Hannah, Jojo, Lily, Tesla, Jojo, Max, Lucas. Did I miss anyone? It's okay. For you to say your name. I know it's bad. What's your name?
Luke.
I should know that, Luke. Okay. We're going to sing on 3. Are you ready? Ready. On 3. A 1, a 2, a 3.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever come back, 'cause it's root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
That's super fantastic. That's not just regular fantastic. Thank you to Blaine, Sophia, Alex, Annabella, Brooks, Georgia, Vera, Brooke, Lucas, Matt.
Peter Burns, the public address announcer / MC extraordinaire at Veterans Field, and the Kitty Poos take you through Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Chatham starts it off with Daniel Jackson. It's the bottom third of the A's order in the bottom of the 7th, with the A's behind Cotuit, 2-1. With Hudson Ridley, I'm Jake Klein. High above diamond side in the Veterans Field press box, behind the home plate grandstand. First pitch to Jackson. Fastball misses off the plate away, 1-0. Right-hander Charlie Walker still out there. He's through an inning and a third of relief for Cotuit, including escaping a bases-loaded jam 2 innings back. 1-0. Breaking ball high, 2-0. Chatham will take any base runner it can get to start these last couple of innings. Try to manufacture the game-tying run. 2-0. Change-up call to strike, 81 at the bottom of the zone. 2 balls and 1 strike. Jackson, of course, has the power to do it the old-fashioned way. He homered in Chatham's 7-7 tie against Hyannis on Tuesday. Walker's 2-1. Breaking ball down and away, 3-1. Right on right. Walker winds up his 3-1 to Jackson. Fastball called to strike, inside corner. Jackson twisted toward the Chatham dugout, ready to shovel his bat back. Thought it was in tight. Mickey Garcia calls strike 2, and the count goes full. Righty-righty, Walker home. Payoff. Breaking ball popped foul. Jackson spoils it off and stays alive. He's one of Chatham's most active hitters around the batter's box. Takes a walk onto the grass closer to the Chatham dugout. Now retoes in the batter's box. Here's the 3-2. Breaking ball, popped foul again, this time further down the right side over Cotuit's dugout and out of play. It'll be a 3rd straight payoff pitch to Daniel Jackson. And the 19th pitch from the Cotuit righty reliever, Charlie Walker. He's ready. Winds and deals. Breaking ball sails to the backstop. That is ball 4 by a mile. It's a leadoff walk for Daniel Jackson. And Chatham has the game-tying run on first in the bottom of the 7th with nobody out. Brings up Jackson Freeman, lefty hitting right fielder from Northwestern. Right against left. First pitch, outside, 1-0. 5 of the first 9 in the inning from Walker have missed the zone. Freeman spins the bat towards him twice. Brings it above his left shoulder. The 1-0. Fastball swung on and popped straight up into the misty fog in foul ground on the first base side. It is dropped by the first baseman. French, it lands in foul ground.
The catcher ran into the batter. Mickey Garcia pointed to signal interference, but because it was the first baseman who had a chance at it, not the catcher, it is not ruled interference. And Jackson Freeman gets another life on a dropped foul ball. So it'll be a 1-1. Walker deals. Breaking ball outside. 2-1. Freeman hit that pop-up a mile high. Maybe higher than the light towers at Veterans Field. And it's a strong fog, but it's hanging up by the lights at Veterans Field. Hasn't dropped down yet onto the playing surface much. 2-1. Breaking ball clips the bottom of the zone. Called a strike. 2-2 on Freeman. Cole Johnson, righty hitting DH from Austin P, is on deck. Right against left. Walker ready. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball just nicked foul to the backstop. Count stays even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Daniel Jackson on first with nobody out. He stole second in the second and tried to steal in the 5th. That ended up being ball 4, so he just got the base for free. He will run. 2-2. Breaking ball popped foul down the left field line. It tails out of play. Nolan Stevens, the left fielder, jogs over and gives it a look before he just gives up and retreats to his position. Cotuit 2, Chatham 1. Bottom of the 7th at Veterans Field. Walker picks to first. Jackson dives back safely. First baseman French had to step over the diving base runner just to keep it from skipping away into foul territory. Another right on left 2-2 coming. Walker ready. He deals. Breaking ball in the dirt, bounces away from Natili towards Cotuit's dugout, and Jackson takes second on the wild pitch as the count goes full on Freeman. Chatham has the game-tying run in scoring position with nobody out, trailing by 1 in the bottom of the 7th. Third wild pitch by Cotuit pitchers tonight, 1 from each of the 3. Payoff. Breaking ball tapped on the ground to first. French fields. He takes it himself to the bag and beats Freeman for the fielder's choice 3 unassisted, but it moves Jackson to third with 1 out for Cole Johnson. So there's the situational hitting, Hudson, that Dennis Cook has been looking for. Now can Cole Johnson repeat it?
And Dennis Cook, after that at-bat, even during the ball being put in play, he knew the outcome, but he gave Jackson Freeman an attaboy as the ball rolled down the first base line, knowing that the situational hitting, you put it in play, get your guy to third. Now any ball hit deep, really most contact at all, could score the runner. All relies on Cole Johnson, though.
Mound visit for Cotuit. Pitching coach Tim O'Connor is back out there with the whole infield. There is a righty up in the Kettleer bullpen. O'Connor has not made a motion down toward the pen yet, and he won't. Mickey Garcia breaks it up. So it's a runner on third with 1 out. 2-1 Cotuit in the bottom of the 7th. That's the game-tying run on third. Kettleers draw the infield in as Cole Johnson steps into the righty box. Walker's first pitch to him. Breaking ball outside, 1-0. Ethan Mendoza is on deck. He's 0 for 3, but has stung 2 balls. Righty in the windup with a runner on third. Here's the 1-0. Fastball low, 2-0 on Johnson. Walker doesn't have to be picky. He can pitch around Johnson 2 bases open. Here's the 2-0. Breaking ball outside, 3-0. Infield still in. Runner on third, 1 out. Walker's 3-0 to Johnson. Outside, it's a 4-pitch walk. And now another mound visit coming, and Cotuit going to make a call to the bullpen. So Walker effectively just puts the double play in order, and now will depart. It'll be Tyler Albanese when we come back. It's a Chatham Bars Inn call to the bullpen for the Kettleers. Righty will enter with runners on first and third and 1 out. Crunch time, bottom of the 7th, straight ahead on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRZ, Cape Cod. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
What you say?
Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
Oh woman, don't treat me so mean. You're the meanest old woman that I've ever seen. I guess if you say so, I'll have to pack my things and go.
That's right, hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
What you say?
Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
Now, baby, listen, baby, don't you treat me this away, 'cause I'll be back on my feet someday.
Don't care if you do, 'cause it's understood. You ain't got no money, you just ain't no good.
Well, I guess if you say so, I'll have to pack my things and go.
That's right, hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
What you say?
Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
Well,
Tyler Albanese, 6'6", 237-pound righty from San Jose State, takes over for Cotuit. It's a Chatham Bars Inn call to the bullpen, and he enters in the bottom of the 7th with 1 out. His team in front 2-1. Chatham has runners on the corners, and Ethan Mendoza, the leadoff man, steps in. Cotuit has the corner infielders in, middle back with 1 out. First pitch. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Jackson on third. Johnson on first. They both walked. Chatham only has 4 hits in the game. A 5th could tie it up or even give it the lead. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a foul pop-up. Behind home plate and out of play. Mendoza in an 0-2 hole. Mendoza 0 for 3 tonight, line to left, fly to deep right, and popped out to second. Albanese comes set. Here's his 0-2. Fastball outside to the righty. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Second appearance for Albanese, worked 2/3 of an inning already this season. Big 1-2 on the way. Breaking ball grounded off the glove of the third baseman Jones. He throws across the diamond in time to get Mendoza, but Jackson scores and Chatham ties the game at 2 in the bottom of the 7th. Mendoza hit it only 54 miles an hour on the ground, but it skipped up off the heel of Jaros right by the third base bag. And his only play was to first.
no chance at an inning-ending double play. Johnson moves to second as the go-ahead run for the righty Henry Ford. Albany steals. Fastball picks the outside corner at 93. It's 0-1. Johnson off second, the go-ahead run with 2 outs. Bottom 7 tied at 2. The 0-1 to Ford. Down and away. Catcher Natili traps it by the lefty box. It's 1-1. Right on right. Albanese comes set, glove at the belt. He deals 1-1. Fastball right down the middle. 93, it's 1-2. Ford hitless in 3 trips to the plate. He did walk in the 5th. Otherwise, a strikeout and a ground out to the pitcher. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball, check swing, appeal to first, no swing, says Ryan Damari on the right side. It was close. Cotuit dugout wanted it. Instead, the count goes even at 2-2. Righty ready the pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt. Johnson had a big secondary lead off of second. Nearly fell as he tried to scurry back to the bag. So the count goes full on Ford with Ace Reese on deck. Right on right. Albany set. Payoff pitch. Fastball downstairs, ball 4. Albanese took a skip step off the mound towards Cotuit's first base side dugout. The ball 4 call draws him back. Chatham does not have a hit in this 7th inning. 3 walks and 2 fielders' choices have already scratched across a run. And now the A's hunting for more. Runners on first and second with 2 out, and the lefty hitting Ace Reese stands in against the righty reliever. Albany set. First pitch. Breaking ball. Flutters over home plate. 0-1. 2 runs on 5 hits, no errors for Cotuit. 2 runs on 4 hits, no errors for Chatham. Tied in the bottom of the 7th. The 0-1. Breaking ball golfed foul on a line down the first base side. Skips off the side fence and rolls back into fair ground by the Cotuit bullpen. And Reese behind in the count 0-2. Came up with the bases loaded in the 5th and drilled a deep fly ball to right center that was hauled in by Case Sanderson. Pats with runners on first and second and 2 out here. The 0-2. Fastball caught on and missed, strike 3. But Chatham ties it up. Ethan Mendoza plates the game-tying run with a fielder's choice ground ball toward third. But Albanese escapes the jam with the strikeout of Reese. Chatham gets a run on no hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. Chris Rudiger will take us to the late innings on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Hudson Ridley will take over play-by-play when we return. We've got a good one at Veterans Field. Don't go anywhere. You won't want to miss it.
Sports Radio, play-by-play. Go A's, Chatham on GRC.
In the sun somewhere, there's some buddies in a Chevy turning up Tom Petty on the way to the Cape. They'll be there all day. In the sun somewhere, there's a home run ball flying over that wall off a Little League bat. Peanuts and cracker jacks. It's a road trip on a wild tear, and I'll call you when we get there. Here's to making that coffee can cash. Here's to making those good times last. 2 for 1 at the fireworks and cold beer in my right hand.
Bixby back to the mound for the Chatham A's, and Hudson Ridley back on the mic.
Thank you very much, Jake. High leverage situation for Mason Bixby to re-enter into tie ball game at 2 apiece in the top of the 8th. And the righty's first batter he faces is Rentaro Sasaki, still looking for his first Cape League hit in his very first Cape League game. Bixby, the righty, kicks and deals. First pitch, a called ball on a fastball above the zone. He has thrown all fastballs except one in his 13 pitches. Decides on a sign with Jackson. Sasaki ready, the 1-0. Swing and a miss, strike one. Goes back to the well on the fastball. Chatham tied the game in the bottom of the 7th. Courtesy of a run scored by Daniel Jackson. Batted in by Mendoza, the 1-1. Strike. Backdoor slider. Clips the upper corner. And Sasaki falls behind 1-2. After him, it'll be Farber and Stevens. 4, 5, and 6, the heart of the Cotuit order. 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. A big K to begin the 8th for Mason Bixby.
Well, you got to respect Sasaki. He does not hold anything back when he decides to swing.
He put everything into a 95-mile-an-hour fastball up and just cut underneath it. That brings in Ryan Farber, who stands in from the left side. First pitch from Bixby, above the zone. 2-2, top of the 8th with 1 gone. Car horn blaring in the distance.
Nothing worse than a car alarm.
It's already been turned off once. Someone has set it off yet again, and this time it's taking longer somehow. The 1-0. Swing and a foul back to the screen. 1-1. Farber steps out and readjusts. Singled to lead off the 6th, then came around. That initially took the lead for Cotuit before Chatham tied it back up at 2. Finds himself 1-1 with 1 gone in the top of the 8th. The pitch. Bixby fires a strike. All velocity for the righty from TCU. Just his first appearance of the season coming out of the pen. He's waited patiently as it comes towards the end of the 5th game. 1-2. Swing and a weak ground ball. Passes Bixby. Hanley scoops it up. Miscommunication. Can't step on the bag in time. An infield single by Ryan Farber on some miscommunication by Chatham. And an unlucky break.
Hit it right in that danger zone between the second baseman, pitcher, and first baseman. It was probably Bixby's ball with his momentum carrying him in that direction. And then all of a sudden he just veered off and left it for Hanley and then had to sprint a longer distance to first.
Dennis Cook in the A's dugout instantly turned around and gave a lesson to the players in the dugout. Runner on first with 1 gone, top of the 8th. Score tied at 2 for Nolan Stevens. First pitch, a called strike. Just barely clipped the corner down and out. Stevens singled his last time up, then was part of a double play. 0-1, below the knees. A ball and a strike. As Bixby's pitch count rises to 22, he's begun to work in the slider. Farber with a 2-step lead off of first. Bixby comes set at the belt, kicks and deals. Swing and a ground ball, foul. Chopped directly at the plate and rolled its way over to the awaiting hands of a few Cotuit players in the first base dugout. Had their hands outstretched, picked up that ball. 1-2. Bixby takes his time, now fires. Upstairs, ball, throw down to first. Jackson nearly backpicked Farber, but he slides back in time. Pitch was a ball. Jackson initially hesitated as Stevens threw the arms around. He lulled Farber to sleep at first base and tried to gun him down. Instead, it's 2-2, runner still on, takes off for second, pitch is fouled back, and Farber will have to retreat back to first base. Cotuit trying the hit and run to break back open the ball game. The line scores read: Cotuit, 2 runs on 6 hits, no errors. For Chatham, 2 runs on 4 hits, no errors. 1 gone in the top of the 8th. Back to the plate, where Stevens waits in a 2-2 count. Back pick over to first, not in time. Farber does not have to slide, just lays the left foot on the bag. Black sliding mitt on his left hand, baggy jersey. Takes another leadoff. The 2-2 pitch. Ground ball left side of the infield. Gallagher to second for 1. Out of the glove of Mendoza. Everybody is safe. Farber on second. Nolan Stevens on first base.
The right fielder, number 28, Case Sanderson.
So it's ruled as an error. Chatham nearly out of the inning. Now faces runners on first and second. First pitch to Case Sanderson. On its way. Clips the bottom of the zone, strike 1. Mendoza has had trouble at second base to begin the season, especially at home. Bixby checks on second. He steps off the mound, motions back over, lobs to Mendoza, who had to reach back across to snag it. The error is officially a throwing error on Gavin Gallagher. Made it a tough play to grab for Mendoza. Pulled him in the opposite direction, and he couldn't squeeze it. The 0-1 to Sanderson. Clubbed up the middle. Mendoza fields at second. The flip to 2 for 1. The flip to first in time. Chatham gets a second opportunity at a double play and does not squander it. Game remains tied at 2 as we head to the bottom of the 8th. No runs on 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 runner left on base. Tight ball game as we head to the bottom of the 8th. Up next for Chatham, it's Gallagher, Lane, and Hanley, 4, 5, and 6 on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRZ, Cape Cod. Coming out of my cage and I've been doing just fine. Gotta be down because I want it all. It started out with a kiss, how did it end up like this? It was only a kiss, Now I'm falling asleep and she's calling a cab while he's having a smoke and she's taking a drag. Now they're going to bed and my stomach is sick and it's all in my head, but she's touching his chest. Now he takes off her dress. Now let me go. And I just can't look, it's killing me. And taking control. Jealousy turning saints into the sea, swimming through sick lullabies, choking on your alibis. But it's just the price I pay. Destiny is calling me. Open up my ego.
2-2 reads the scoreboard in left field between Cotuit and Chatham as we've reached the bottom of the 8th. Gavin Gallagher to lead it off against Albanese, who came in to finish the 7th for Cotuit. Righty on righty. First pitch called strike on the outer half. After Gallagher, it's Lane, then Hanlon. 4, 5, and 6. Gallagher twirls the bat. The 0-1. Half-hearted swing. Did he go around? The appeal to first, no swing, says Ryan Damari. Gallagher nearly went down to one knee, brought the bat all the way up, and had to use every muscle in his body to hold himself back. Albany set for the 1-1. Here it is. Swing and a ground ball up the middle, and it's gloved at short. Throw is swallowed. Ryan Farber had to dig deep in the hole to field the ball coming his way, and he decides to hold on to it. A leadoff infield single for Gavin Gallagher. His first hit for Chatham puts the leadoff man aboard ahead of Isaiah Lane. Knotted at 2-2, bottom of the 8th. Chatham has already played 2 tight games at Veterans Field. The difference in those 2 games, just 1 run. First pitch to Lane. The righty fires the hands and fouls it off. The A's still searching for their first win at home of the 2025 season. The lone win so far coming in Game 3 against Wareham. The check on first base, not in time. Gallagher with a head-first slide. Time called by Mickey Garcia, who fires a new ball back to Albanese. Again, he likes to do it himself, often clocking in the mid-50s. 0-1, runner takes off, hit and run, lobbed out into left field. Back goes Farber, it gets down and left. Head first slide into third for Gallagher. It's runners on the corners for the Anglers. Lane and Gallagher executing to perfection, back-to-back singles, and Chatham threatening yet again. 2-2 in the bottom of the 8th. Still nobody gone. Yet another big spot for Jake Hanlon. He's 0 for 3 today. Went 0 for 4 against Hyannis on Tuesday. Righty-lefty. The first pitch. Inside. Hanley pulls up the hands and slowly retreats out of the box. It's 1-0. Albanese has been coming up and in on fastballs to lefty hitters. He did so to Hanley on the first pitch. Now the 1-0. At his feet for ball 2. Chatham has already drawn 6 walks today as time is called. And pitching coach Tim O'Connor slowly walks to the mound. A meeting of the entire infield. Nobody up and throwing in the Cotuit pen, but plenty of arms up and moving. A distinct difference. The line scores in left field. Cotuit with 2 runs on 6 hits, no errors. Chatham with 2 runs on 6 hits, 1 error. Nobody with charge at Veterans Field. There we go. The crowd gets behind it. One that has stayed strong despite the sun setting and the fog whipping. O'Connor leaves back for the dugout, and everybody is ready for the 2-0. Here it comes. Below the knees. Ball 3, and you can put the red light on for Hanley. Righty warming in the Cotuit pen. It's number 15, Ryan Buckler. 3-0, taken for a strike. Dennis Cook encouraging Hanley, who just finished up his freshman season at Indiana. He's in a favorable 3-1 count with runners on the corners, no one gone. The pitch. He holds up at ball 4 inside. Hanley wanted it so bad. Instead, he stays disciplined, and the bases are loaded. Nobody gone. The infield in for Cotuit in front of Daniel Jackson. Last night, Daniel Jackson reached 4 of 5 times, including a solo shot and a flare that tied the game at 7. That was on Tuesday. Tonight, he's reached all 3 times with 2 singles. Bases loaded, first pitch to Jackson, skipped in the dirt. And Natili barely saves a run as he keeps it within the vicinity. After playing in the first 2 games of the year, Jackson was taken out of the lineup after not producing. Since he's been put back in, he's been wonderful. The 1-0. Jackson doesn't offer. Fastball outside. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Nobody gone in the bases juiced. Gallagher on third. Lane on second. Hanley on first after 2 singles and a walk. Daniel Jackson stands back in. The 2-0. Skipped in the dirt again. Natili blocks it once again. Albanese playing with fire. The second time Chatham has loaded the bases today. The first time, Ace Race went 350 feet to center field and needed a few more. 3-0 pitch to Jackson. It's low, ball 4. Chatham walks in the lead-taking run. 3-2 A's in the bottom of the 8th. And things are starting to slip for Cotuit. 7 walks drawn by Angler batters today. It moves Lane up to third. Hanley goes to second. And Jackson, the runner, on first. Jackson Freeman in from the left side. Infield still in, no one gone. First pitch to Freeman, bounced in the dirt again. This time rolls down the third base line, and Natili scoops it up. Nobody moving. Infield with their toes on the grass. Now Ryan Farber from the shortstop spot comes over to have a conversation with Albanese. Retreats to his position. Time called. Freeman needs a little space. Now the 1-0. Inside, gets away from Natili. Runner comes in to score from third as Lane crosses the plate. And Chatham has put back-to-back runs on the board without having to swing the bat. 4-2 A's, bottom of the 8th. The best part for Chatham right now, still nobody gone. Runners both move up 90 feet, so 2 in scoring position. Hanley finds himself at third with Daniel Jackson at second base. Jackson Freeman in a 2-0 count. Albanese, a long look in, now he deals. Inside, but it clips the zone, and Freeman throws the hands up. Fastball for strike 1. The 2-1. Swing and a broken bat bouncer. A pickle from everybody. The throw to third gets Hanley. Now in a rundown is Jackson at second. Can't out-escape it, and 2 tags are applied. The runners at third and second are gone. A big mistake in base running from Chatham. That ball stayed on the infield the whole way, yet Hanley broke for home. Jackson broke for third. That leaves Jackson Freeman on first base with a fielder's choice. But now a significantly worse opportunity for Chatham. The A's have still added on 2 runs in the bottom of the 8th. It's 4-2 Anglers. Cole Johnson, the 9-hole hitter, stands in from the right side. First pitch from the righty. Called strike at the knees on a fastball. Not often Chatham has had base running mistakes. There have been instances where the A's strand runners, but this is different. The 0-1, golfed on the ground to second, fielded on a hop by Johnson, underhand throw to first, and Johnson is retired at first base. Chatham puts 2 runs on the board. They get it on 2 hits. No errors unless you count big-time base-running mistakes. The Anglers still up 4-2 with a chance to end it against the 3 batters coming up. French, Jaros, and Winfield, 8-9-1 on the other side when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod.
Top of the 9th, Cape Cod Baseball Network. Chatham on top 4-2 after 2 big runs in the bottom of the 8th. Mason Bixby with a 27-pitch count retakes the mound and all of a sudden is in line for the win. He faces Anderson French, Ryan Jaros, and Easton Winfield, 8-9-1. Righty on lefty for the first pitch. Here it is. Called strike. The bread and butter fastball at 93 miles an hour for Bixby. He leans over his front foot. Now comes set at the belt. Kicks and deals. Swing and a miss, strike 2. This time the off speed.
Interesting to me, Hudson, the other night, Isaac Goddard pitched well in the 8th. Chatham had a 2-run lead. Dennis Cook went to a new pitcher. This time Mason Bixby's been pitching well. Chatham builds a 2-run lead. Dennis Cook stays with him.
He's got Anderson French in an 0-2 hold. Decides on the sign with Jackson, who sets up outside. The 0-2 swung on and popped foul. Count remains where it is. Chatham on top 4-2. Both teams with 6 hits. The lone error in the game belongs to the Anglers. French stands back in. He's drawn 2 walks today, but is in a deep 0-2 hole. Here it is from Bixby. Bounced in the dirt. Jackson blocks it. Pitch black night sky just before 10 p.m. Eastern time in Chatham, Massachusetts. The Anglers in search of their first win at Veterans Field in 2025. They need 3 outs to do it. It's 1-2 to French. Here it is. Swing and a ground ball up the middle. Fielded by Lane at short. Fires over to first in time, 1 down. Mason Bixby needs to retire 2 more.
Number 10, Ryan Jaros.
Ryan Jaros slowly circles the plate. Takes a couple of practice hacks and digs into the right-handed batter's box. Bixby awaits him. He's been ready to go. First pitch. Called ball low and away. Bixby has tossed 33. The 1-0. Strike at the knees. Back-to-back sliders. The righty working on a righty and Ryan Jaros, third baseman out of NC State. 0 for 3 today. 1-1. Strike. Fastball up and in. Jaros falls behind. Chatham's dugout not showing much emotion. Standing on pins and needles. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Ryan Jaros retired. One last out for Cotuit. It rests on the bat of Easton Winfield. The lefty in for the 5th time today. 2 for 4. Both of them singles in the 5th and the 7th. First pitch from Bixby. Below the knees. Winfield held back. It's ball 1. Bixby has had to wait very patiently in the bullpen through the first 4 games of the season. He's been here the entire time. Was one of the first players to arrive. 1-0. Called strike on the outer half. It's 1-1. Now in his first appearance, he's been strong. He's 2 strikes away from giving the Anglers the win, but he needs to get past Easton Winfield. The lefty is ready. Now Bixby comes set. The righty kicks and deals. Swing and a miss. Fastball upstairs, and it's 1-2. Bixby resets the feet on the mound. 1-2. 2 gone, top 9. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Mason Bixby ends the ball game on back-to-back Ks, and the Anglers have their first home win of 2025. Chatham beats Cotuit 4-2 under the lights at Veterans Field. The offense was dormant for nearly the entire game. 4-2 and a big 2 that came in the bottom of the 8th. Chatham improves to 2-2-1, and we have plenty to break down. The Anglers Extra post-game show coming at you in just a moment. An interview featuring Jake Klein, our highlights as well. There's plenty to stick around for. You're not going to want to miss it. Keep it right here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Sports Radio, play-by-play. Go A's, Chatham on GRC.
When the lights go down.
Anglers Extra.
Welcome in to the Anglers Extra Postgame Show as Chatham beats Cotuit 4-2. Your Anglers Extra Postgame Show is brought to you by Chatham Bars Inn, New England's premier oceanfront resort. A big late-game surge from Chatham. 2 runs in the bottom of the 8th. And some clutch pitching from Mason Bixby, the difference in the first home win of 2025. The line scores for both teams. Chatham with 4 runs on 6 hits, 1 error. Cotuit with 2 runs on 6 hits, no errors. Jake Klein is standing by for an interview in just a moment. But before we get to that, we'll update you on the schedule for the upcoming games. Tomorrow, the earliest first pitch the Anglers have had to begin the season. It's Game 6 against Yarmouth Dennis. That one is on the road, followed by a home game against Bourne on Saturday. First pitch is, of course, at 7 under the lights at Veterans Field. And then out to Hyannis for a 6 p.m. first pitch on Sunday before an off day on Monday. Off days on Monday will be the usual, really, throughout the rest of the year. The only non-off Monday is against Cotuit on July 21st. So write that down, jot it down, keep it in your memory. Because with the way the Anglers have been playing, a lot more to come. Right now, the coach is working with Mason Bixby after he had a big performance to shut out this game. Slammed the door, picked up his first win after the righty tossed 40 pitches as a fastball-heavy guy. Bixby had to start relying on the off-speed, which eventually was the reason why he struck out 2 batters to end the game, Kane Jaros and Winfield. Jaros coming on a slider, Winfield coming on the fastball. The final line for Mason Bixby: 3 innings pitched, 2 hits allowed, no runs, no walks, and 4 strikeouts. Chatham pitching, the only department they really struggled in today were those walks, tossing 6. But again, Bixby not responsible for any of those. Now we have Jake Klein standing by with the winning pitcher of the game.
Hudson here with Mason Bixby postgame after he earns the win and closes out Chatham's 4-2 win over Cotuit. Mason, a couple of scoreless innings for you there to end it. How'd it feel?
Really good. I felt like it was good. I mean, it's good when we score runs and you come in and we're up, so all you got to do is hold them there. So.
You were one of the first to arrive to Chatham, had to wait your turn to get on the mound. What did it feel like finally getting out there?
It was awesome. It's been probably like a little over a week, but it's been awesome. I mean, throwing bullpens, hanging out with all the guys, so it feels really good.
How's the camaraderie down there in the pen?
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, you got to lock in when you need to lock in, but the other times you're playing games. I mean, it's a good time. Really relaxed. No one's stressed out, so it's awesome down there.
Certainly looked good tonight. Close it out in the end. Do you have experience closing games?
I do. Yeah, I was relieved. I relieved in starting college. But yeah, relieving's awesome. You come in, you're up 2, you got to hold them there. So a little bit of pressure, but it makes the game fun.
Why do you feel like you're a good fit for that role?
I feel like I'm a bigger guy. Velo was down tonight a little bit, but I feel like I bring Velo pretty good. And if you can just hold him with Velo and have good off speed, I thought you're a pretty good closer.
Well, ran it up to 97, so I guess if that's Velo down, then we'll have to see what we have in store for Mason Bixby the rest of the way. Yeah. What are some of the goals the rest of the summer?
No walks. That's my goal. That was kind of the baseline of my performances for the summer, hopefully. So that's where I'm going to hold it.
Saw you say that to Dennis Cook there. No walks. What's it been like working with him and Jay Powell?
It's been awesome, yeah. I mean, we work on spots and bullpens, so I mean, we do like triangles, and we work on off speeds, placing that for strike one. I mean, if you can land strike one every time, it makes your life so much easier.
Mason Bixby earns the win, and Chatham picks up the win 4-2 over Cotuit at Veterans Field. Mason, thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Back to Hudson Ridley for more on the Anglers Extra postgame show.
Well, thank you very much, Jake. Good to hear from Mason Bixby. As Jake mentioned, he had waited over a week to begin pitching, and now coming in, his first appearance, tossing 40 pitches and picking up the win. Plenty of fun moments in that win. We'll have you on the other side with highlights in just a moment on the Anglers Extra Postgame Show.
Screen door slams, Mary's dress sways. Like a vision, she dances across the porch as the radio plays. Roy Orbison sang and for the lonely. Hey, that's me and I want you only. Don't turn me home again. I just can't face myself alone again. Don't you run back inside, darling, you know just what I'm here for. So you're scared and you're thinking that maybe we ain't that young anymore. Well, show a little faith, there's magic in the night. Ain't a beauty, but hey, you're alright. Oh, and that's alright with me. Covers and study your pain. Make crosses from your lovers, throw roses in the rain. Waste your summer praying in vain for a savior to rise from these streets. Well, I'm no hero that's understood. All the redemption I can offer, girl, is beneath this dirty hood. With a chance to make it good somehow. Hey, what else can we do now? Except roll down the window. Busted open, these 2 lanes will take us anywhere. We got one last chance to make it real. We're trading these wings on some wheels. Climbing back, heaven's waiting down on the tracks. Oh, come and take my hand. We're riding out tonight to chase the promised land. Front porch to my front seat. The door's open, but the ride it ain't free. Hey, I know you're lonely. There's words that I ain't spoken, but tonight, girl, we'll be free. All the promises will be broken.
Welcome back into the Anglers Extra Postgame Show, sponsored by Chatham Bars Inn, New England's premier oceanfront resort. And we have your postgame highlights in a 4-2 Chatham win, presented by Touchstone Closing. To begin the game, it was a little bit erroneous in the fact that Chatham kind of let things slip.
Johnson's first pitch. Skipped in the dirt away from Jackson. Run comes in to score from third, and Cotuit opens up the ball game on a wild pitch.
So an interesting start to get it to a 1-0 lead for Cotuit, but the A's struck back.
1-2. Swing and a liner into the outfield for a single. Gallagher scores, and the Anglers tie the game at 1.
Daniel Jackson, continuing his hot streak, was the one to put Chatham back on the board, and then he was up in the bottom of the 5th after no runs had been scored from then till now.
Here's another 3-2.
Fastball punched in the air, shallow right field. Sanderson runs in, it drops in front of him, a base hit. Daniel Jackson has hits in 3 consecutive at-bats for Chatham.
So the Anglers were still knotted at that point and had a big opportunity to blow the game wide open. Bases were loaded with 2 outs, and Ace Reese, first-team All-SEC, stepped to the plate.
Right against left, Walker set. Here's his 1-0. Fastball drilled, right center field and deep. Winfield on the run, and the gap reaches up. It's the right fielder, Sanderson, who calls him off and makes the catch on the track.
So all for naught. Chatham left the bases loaded at that point, and it wouldn't be long till the Anglers found themselves on the other side of the tie.
Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball lined on 1 hop to second. Mendoza fields, flips to second for 1, relay to first in time. A double play, but the run comes home to score, and Cotuit takes a 2-1 lead in the top of the 6th.
Small ball was the name of the game for most of this one. Chatham was trailing 2-1, and then in the bottom of the 7th, Ethan Mendoza, who's been big on batting runs in, stood in.
Big 1-2 on the way. Breaking ball grounded off the glove of the third baseman Jones. He throws across the diamond in time to get Mendoza, but Jackson scores, and Chatham ties the game at 2 in the bottom of the 7th.
So with the game knotted at 2 apiece, somebody at some point had to break through. There was a chance in the top of the 8th for Cotuit, but the 0-1 to Sanderson. Clubbed up the middle. Mendoza fields at second. The flip to 2 for 1. The flip to first in time. Chatham gets a second opportunity at a double play and does not squander it. So that held the score at 2, and in a massive position, the bases loaded. Daniel Jackson, who's been on fire, stepped to the plate. We mentioned he has 14 home runs and 29 hits at Georgia. Major pop, always swings big, but this time, 3-0 pitch to Jackson. It's low, ball 4. Chatham walks in the lead-taking run. 3-2 A's in the bottom of the 8th. So, Chatham took the lead, and then Tyler Albanese, the pitcher on the mound for Cotuit, continued to falter. Now the 1-0. Inside, gets away from Natili. Runner comes in to score from third as Lane crosses the plate. And Chatham has put back-to-back runs on the board without having to swing the bat. On the other side of the 4-2 ball game, Mason Bixby was dealing. He tossed 40 pitches tonight. Here was the 40th.
Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Mason Bixby ends the ball game on back-to-back Ks, and the Anglers have their first home win of 2025. Chatham beats Cotuit 4-2 under the lights at Veterans Field.
So how about it? The first home win at Veterans Field of 2025 comes courtesy of some late offense put on the board by the Anglers. Jake, this was a game that had a couple of roller coaster moments for Chatham. When you look back at the final score, what stands out to you the most in terms of the aspects of this game?
I think it's how many zeros were put on the board by Chatham pitching, which really has only had one rough game in the short 2025 season. That's the 7-7 tieback on Tuesday against Hyannis. Other than that, this Chatham pitching staff, one of the best in the league in terms of earned runs allowed, has been really, really good, which maybe shouldn't come as a surprise considering who the manager is, a former World Series champion in Dennis Cook, and who the pitching coach is, a former World Series champion in Jay Powell.
Both of them picking up wins in that World Series. Mason Bixby, not quite the World Series, but he picks up his first win in Chatham. A couple other pitching debuts as well. Dane Burns and, of course, the starter Luke Jackson all tying together to hold Cotuit to just 2 runs under the lights. It was a 7 p.m. first pitch today, but tomorrow it's a little bit different. The first time Chatham opens the game at 5 p.m. That takes place at Yarmouth Dennis. That one, an early start, 4:40 Anglers Extra pregame show. You'll want to be there when it starts. Again, Chatham with a 4-2 win under the lights at Veterans Field. The pitching performance is stellar. The hitting in clutch situations, exactly what Dennis Cook wanted when he said they need to pick it up. The Anglers 2-2-1, starting to make pushes on both sides of the ball. Tomorrow night at YD, 4:40, be there and be on the air to listen to us. For Jake Klein, I'm Hudson Ridley. We hope you enjoyed this performance of Chatham A's Baseball.
Chatham Anglers Baseball 2025 has been brought to you by the Chatham Bars Inn, Chatham Clothing Bar, Touchstone Closing, Mahi Gold, Chatham Paint and Hardware, Sweet Tomatoes Pizza, the Red Nun Bar and Grill, Short and Sweet Ice Cream, Cape Cod 5, and by the Chatham A's.
Chatham A's Baseball, sports radio, play-by-play, summertime on Cape Cod.
This has been an exclusive presentation of Chatham A's Baseball on TRZ Team Line.
Chatham on TRZ, Cape